Hi, everyone. Welcome to Lincoln Square's live coverage of Donald Trump's State of the Union, Calling Out the Lies. I'm Susan Demas, the executive editor here at Lincoln Square, and I am with our executive producer, Sam Osterhout. Sam, how excited are you for this night?
I am all a Twitter. We were talking about this earlier. There have been some really consequential speeches and public performances, right? Biden in the debate, he was an old man and that was the beginning of the end for him. And so it feels especially high stakes tonight.
I agree. There's been so much polling, none of it good for Donald Trump. But the one that really stuck with me was from Reuters and Ipsos that showed that 6 in 10 Americans, including a significant number of Republicans, think that Donald Trump has become more erratic as he's aged. I'm not sure that a 2 to 3 hour speech, which is apparently what we're in for. Sam, do you think that's going to help matters?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think always, as the Lincoln Project knows, more Trump is always good for Trump. Come on. He's the dude. This is his Achilles heel, right? Himself and his own version of himself. And we're fortunate that he's such an asshole.
Fortunate, yes.
Because he'll always shoot himself in the foot.
Yes. Well, I really appreciate all of you for joining us. I know that this is probably a painful experience for all of us. And, nobody likes to drink alone. So we're here for you. And we certainly understand if you are already deep into that bottle of wine, nobody's going to judge you. If you're just joining us now, we've had some really great coverage throughout the day. We had University of Michigan economist Justin Wolfers break down the economic piece of what we can expect Trump to say tonight, as well as his big loss in the Supreme Court on tariffs. We had Rick Wilson, Joe Trippi, and Stephen Beschloss give you a preview of the State of the Union speech just a couple hours ago. And we also have a couple special interviews before we get into live streaming the speech tonight.
Yeah, and I want to kind of set the table a little bit tonight. We're going to have Michael Fanone come in. We have Rachel Bitecofer. We have Maya May. We wanted to think like this is such a traumatic event that nobody wants to be a part of. And we want to make this as fun as we can possibly be. So we chose the funnest people we could imagine to invite in. And I see everyone is at least in some state of drinking or almost drinking in the chat. Kudos. There will probably be some alcohol consumed on camera tonight. Perhaps it's going to be a long night. Also, I wanted to, before we get to these interviews, because we do need to talk about what we think is about to happen. That's the wrong one. We have the bingo card. And I hope all of you got it. Susan, how did we hand this out? I was busy in production all day.
If you check our socials, and also we sent it out with a lot of our show write-ups, our articles. So hopefully you've all seen it. And let us know if you get bingo, because we gotta try and have some fun here. And if you're joining us for the first time and you don't subscribe to Lincoln Square, I'm just going to invite you, go ahead, check us out, see if you like what we've got going on here, because we'd love to have you as part of our pro-democracy community here. And you can subscribe absolutely for free.
Yes. I love everyone is kind of making predictions already. Keep them coming. I'll run them as banners, Kyrens, as you make them. What's he going to say tonight? What's he going to do? What's the big surprise of the evening? What's your prediction? I want to hear about that. Susan, there's, like we said, there's a lot at stake here. And earlier tonight, Maya May met with Raisa Contreras, who is Dylan Lopez Contreras' mom. And if you don't know who he is, he was recently deported, most likely illegally. And it really had an incredible impact on their family. And it was given a seat at the State of the Union tonight by Chuck Schumer. And they reached out and asked, if we wanted to help tell that story. And of course we did. Let's run that interview, and we'll come back to talk about it.
Hello, everyone. I am here with a very, very special guest tonight. Her name is Raisa Contreras, and she is the mother of Dylan Contreras. He was a New York City student who followed the rules, showed up to his immigration hearing, and was taken into ICE custody anyway. And so tonight, his mom is here to share with us what happened and what she hopes to see tonight. She is an invited guest of Senator Schumer for tonight's State of the Union address. This interview will be in Spanish. However, there will be subtitles, so you will be able to follow along as well. So without further ado, hola Raisa, muchas gracias para venir, para hablar con nosotros. Contame un poco, Raisa, ¿quién es Dylan? ¿Qué tipo de hijo, estudiante, trabajador es?
Ok, bueno, Dylan es un buen muchacho. Él, como le he explicado a otras personas, quiso hacer todo de la mejor forma posible. Él ingresó autorizado y de forma casi inmediata se matriculó para estudiar, logró sacar la mayor documentación que podíamos. Estuvimos bajo el marco legal y es muy empático. Las personas lo quieren, lo que lo conocen. Es un niño de buenos modales. No tiene vicio, no tiene récord criminal. Bueno, para mí es el mejor niño, obvio, pero es una buena persona,
Y como dijiste, él ahí hizo todo correcto, tuvo todos sus papeles, fue al corte como tuve que hacer. Y en ese momento, saliendo de corte, ¿qué pasó?
Cuando nos estábamos retirando de la sala, dos personas nos seguían, vestidos de civiles, los cuales resultaron ser agentes de y hicieron la detención, dijeron tener orden de arresto, pero no tenían nada a la mano, y de forma inmediata, algo brusco se podría decir, pues procedieron a la detención. Por más que se les dijo que de acuerdo a la edad de acá mi hijo era menor, que era un estudiante, que estaba regulando sus documentos, todo, ellos hicieron caso omiso y solo lo subieron a un vehículo que no estaba identificado y pues se lo llevaron.
Eso es algo muy asustante. Como
Horrible.
mamá, me imagino que en ese momento quedaste súper entornado por tu hijo. Sí, desesperado. ¿Cómo les afectó esta separación a vos y a tu familia en lo emocional, en lo cotidiano?
En todo, afectó en todo, porque yo soy, primeramente con Dios, pero solamente son mis hijos y yo. Y Dylan es mi compañero, es mi apoyo, o sea, somos un equipo. Y lamentablemente, al momento que lo arrebatan o que me lo quitan, pues se descontroló todo. Nos poníamos de acuerdo de buscar los niños, de organizarnos, de todas las cosas y lamentablemente pues me tocó quedar sola, luchar ahora no solamente por los pequeños, sino también por él, por lo que está pasando. Entonces bastante fuerte, muy fuerte.
Sí, y que ustedes hicieron todo como correspondía. ¿Sentís un poco que el sistema le falló a Dylan?
Pues la verdad sí, porque si él ingresó autorizado, no veo la razón, o por lo menos si una persona se la van a llevar detenida, supongo que deberían de tenerlo primero investigado, si realmente tiene un récord criminal, si realmente debe algo, o sea, algo está mal hecho, y de ahí deberían de proceder. Pero no solamente porque la persona sea latino o porque sea migrante, sea detenido de forma inmediata porque así lo hayan estipulado. Me parece injusto.
Sí, mucho. Y por eso el senador Schumer te invitó al Estado de la Unión para
Claro.
visibilizar todo eso. ¿Qué cambio concreto te gustaría que hagan los legisladores?
Mira, de ellos depende, pero pienso que si quieren seguir haciendo la forma de trabajo, no soy quien para decirles, pero pudieran hacerlo de mejor manera, realmente estar seguros de las personas que están deteniendo y no solamente actuar por actuar, donde se están separando familias, donde están sufriendo, donde hay menores, niños detenidos, y esto es bastante fuerte para la familia. Yo lo estoy padeciendo con mi hijo, muchas mujeres con sus esposos, sus padres, o sea, es algo de verdad bastante fuerte.
Sí, también afectó a los amigos, la comunidad. Hubo mucho apoyo, ¿no? De la comunidad.
Todo porque no es fácil vivir con miedo, porque por más que no se quiera, se tiene miedo. Entonces, sales de donde estás por persecuciones, por problemas, buscas algo mejor para tus hijos, llegas a un sitio y no sabes si realmente fue lo mejor que hiciste, porque te encuentras con algo que no te esperabas. No te lo esperabas porque trataste de hacer las cosas lo mejor posible bajo el marco de la ley para que esto no pasara. Entonces, si hiciste todo, o sea, supuestamente bien, entonces ¿por qué?
¿Y por qué? Sí, y Dylan sabe que vas a estar en el State of the Union hoy.
Sí,
Y si estuviera acá hoy, ¿qué pensás que quería que la gente sepa?
bueno, él dice que eso es muy fuerte, que es fuerte para personas que se preparan en la vida para no tener que caer en una cárcel ni nada y tener que ser inocente y estar solamente metido por, no sé, por racismo, pudiera decirse, no sé qué palabra
Sí.
pudiera utilizar, porque solamente por esas cosas es realmente a lo que vemos. Entonces, prácticamente vienen a ser como nuevamente presos políticos o algo por el estilo, porque solamente por el hecho de que no esté de acuerdo con una decisión de otra persona que estuvo en el mando anterior, solamente cambian las cosas y no importa quién afecte.
Sí, estoy súper agradecida que puedas venir a charlar con nosotros para compartir tu historia y la historia de Dylan. Y espero que todo eso va a tener una resolución bien para vos, para tu familia y más para todos que están en detención en ese momento. Muchísimas gracias otra vez para charlar con nosotros.
Gracias a ustedes. Yo realmente lo único que deseo es que mi hijo vuelva a casa y que todo se normalice.
Sí, esperamos que sí. Gracias, Raisa.
A ustedes, gracias.
Thank you so much for everybody for joining us for this conversation. If you would like to know more information about Dylan's case, you can go and look him up. There's been so much support in the community for him, and there are hundreds of Dylans out there, dozens, and they need your support. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And remember, we've got this as long as we stay together and protect our communities.
It's heartbreaking. It's really a heartbreaking thing. I think a lot of people, these are the actual stakes.
Right. Yeah. And I was really, every time I talk with Jess Michaels, who is an Epstein survivor, who is so generous with her time with us, it's always an amazing conversation. But last week I had her on and she told us, broke the news that she and the other survivors will be the guests of members of Congress on the floor tonight for the State of the Union. And I think that highlighting their very important stories, the stories of people who have been wrongfully detained or deported or harmed by ICE, the Epstein survivors who are still waiting for justice after all these years. It's just a real privilege to be able to tell those stories here.
It really is. It really is. And you conducted an interview earlier today. I mean, look, this speech is a symbol, and we're going to make fun of it tonight because, yeah, I mean, obviously, but it's also a symbol. This is the state of our union, and the state is sick. And he's going to try to say that it's not, and he's going to make so many claims to the otherwise. Tell us about the interview you gave, and let's watch that before this happens.
Yeah, I was able to talk with Wisconsin Congressman Mark Pocan, member of the Progressive Caucus. And you may recall we had him on about a month ago, right after Renee Good was killed in Minneapolis. And, he said, I think we're past abolish ICE. It's time for fuck ICE. And he was more restrained this time. He had with him his special guest, Doug Rebuttal, who is a longtime farmer in Wisconsin, who's been very impacted by Trump's tariffs. But we had a really good conversation about what the congressman is expecting from the State of the Union, and also how farmers are really hurting under this economy. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and roll that.
And after this, we're bringing in the fun. So stay tuned for Fanone, Bitecofer, and Miami, our resident badass.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan Demas, the executive editor here at Lincoln Square. And all eyes will be on Donald Trump for his State of the Union address tonight. And members of Congress traditionally bring guests with them as a way to honor constituents and highlight specific policy issues. Congressman Mark Pocan of Wisconsin returns here to Lincoln Square to talk with us tonight about what he'd like to see in tonight's State of the Union address, and also about what we'll probably get from President Trump. He is joined by his guest for the evening, Doug Rebuttal, who is a lifelong farmer and the president of the Wisconsin Soybean Association. And they will be talking about the impact of Trump's trade policy and what that has meant for farmers. Congressman Pocan and Mr. Rebuttal, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Congressman, let's start with why you felt it was important to bring Doug as your guest for tonight's speech.
Well, I think one of the things we hear the most from people is that they're paying more for groceries and durable goods because of the erratic use of tariffs that the president's done. They're paying more for healthcare and utilities because of the reconciliation bill. They're still paying more for housing. But one thing that, is totally avoidable is the tariff increases. The fact that farmers, much less our manufacturers and other small businesses, are really impacted by tariffs. Soybeans are about $1 billion a year in Wisconsin. And for 5 months, there were no orders that came in from China, one of our biggest trading partners, because of the erratic use of tariffs. So it's having a negative effect on many farmers, and we wanted to help highlight those issues.
Doug, we've been hearing a lot of horror stories from farmers across the country about Trump's tariffs. A lot of farmers are worried about next year's crops. Some are concerned about losing their farms. Can you share with us your own experiences in Wisconsin and what else you're hearing from other farmers in the state?
Yeah, when it comes to agriculture, every farm is different and in a different situation. What I'm seeing is, farmers are just kind of afraid of that uncertainty of what's happening. Because we keep hearing tariffs on, tariffs off, tariffs increase, tariffs decrease. And every time that happens, that's affecting our relationships with other countries that we're selling to, mainly China. That China has historically bought 62% of the soybeans that the U.S. exports. And when we lose a market like that, China, they've started buying most of their soybeans from South America, and they built up that infrastructure. So even if we get things back on track, we've lost that market, and we're not just going to get it back in a month or two. It's going to take years upon years to build those markets and that trust back up.
The Supreme Court did rule against Trump's tariffs on Friday. But the president has said that he's not backing down. He has issued an order for new tariffs. Did that come as a surprise to you, Doug? Were you thinking that finally you might get some relief here and some certainty?
Honestly, the way things change, we go day by day,
Mm.
and nothing is surprising us right now. And we're not just looking at today or tomorrow. We're looking at this fall when we're going to be harvesting. We're looking at the 2027 year. And those are things that we need to do on the farm. We have to look forward. And with what's going on, it's very hard to do that right now.
Congressman, some Democrats have chosen to boycott tonight's speech. Other members, like yourself, have decided to attend and bring important guests. Some members are choosing to bring Epstein survivors. And we saw a couple weeks ago when Attorney General Pam Bondi refused to even acknowledge their presence at her Capitol Hill hearing. What kind of response do you expect survivors to receive tonight?
Well, I think it's important we bring different guests to point out some of the different problems with this administration. When it comes to the Epstein files, it has been bizarre, really, watching the federal government response, saying, files are on someone's desk. There's nothing in the files. Now they're releasing some of the files. They're not releasing all the files with Trump's name. Again, erratic seems to be the defining word for the Trump administration on how they govern on everything. And, the victims just want to have the power that they deserve, and they need the federal government to do. So there's still 3 million more files, I think, that haven't been released. We're all still fighting for that.
The issue of immigration is front and center on Americans' minds, and that's been a huge issue for President Trump, obviously. This administration has been very aggressive in its deportation policy. Doug, I'm wondering how that has impacted farmers specifically, because there is so much migrant labor that makes up the agricultural industry in this country.
Yeah, and in Wisconsin, being the dairy state, that's very important, because with our larger family farms that we have, they need to hire, people to work on those farms, and the local people are not wanting to work on farms like they did way back when. And so there is more of a need for the migrant workers there, and then also for the canning, the vegetable canning and stuff. That's the migrant workers are very important to that whole process, and that's all seasonal.
Mhm.
And when you start messing with that, you're messing with a lot of different things, because on farms, whether it's milking cows or harvesting vegetables, they need to be done in a timely manner, and you can't sit there and worry, do I have workers? Do I not have workers? We need to get the job done.
Congressman, what would you like to hear from the president about immigration and about ICE?
I would like him to realize that his policies are not just inhumane to people, but we're arresting American citizens and we're detaining American citizens. And we have a secretary who said American citizens should have to carry papers to prove they're citizens. And all of this is looking a little too much like 1930s Germany rather than 2026 in the United States of America. So his policies are more about personal vindictiveness, I think, and appealing to the MAGA base than it is about doing anything positive for this country. And I think we're seeing that in the polling right now. People are not happy with the policies around immigration. And it's because we're seeing it actually impacting us, our neighbors, our friends. And it's not what we were promised when he was elected.
Right. And of course, your state of Wisconsin did vote for President Trump in 2024, just like Wisconsin did in 2016. What are you hearing from your constituents? How do they feel about Trump's presidency more than a year in?
I think a lot of people are leaving Donald Trump. I just saw some polling today that showed by 48-point swing, independents were leaving Donald Trump, and they literally described those as extinction numbers to us. Those are the words. And I'm seeing it anecdotally. I was told about someone who had a soybean farmer for a neighbor, not from Doug, from someone else. and that person had a Trump flag up since the first Trump administration. It went down this summer for the first time because they were being impacted by Trump's policies. So I think a lot of people are just really negatively affected. Everyone knows they're paying more for things out of pocketbook, and those are all avoidable things that are just caused really by the ego rather than by sound policy of Donald Trump.
Well, before we let both of you go, Congressman, there are reports out there that Trump's speech may go 2, maybe even 3 hours long. So just wondering, are you staying hydrated, and any thoughts about what he could possibly talk about for that long?
Himself, probably, right? That seems to be his favorite subject. Look, I'll stay for as long as I can, but it doesn't take that much to say I'm going to reverse my tariff policy. I'm going to quit arresting American citizens. I could say those things in one sentence, but he's going to have to talk a real long time to try to explain why those things are good when people know they're not. That's probably what we're going to get, is a lot of spin. So maybe I'll take some seasickness medicine so I don't get too dizzy from all of that.
Well, good luck to you. Good luck to all of us who are watching tonight. Congressman Doug, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us today on Lincoln Square.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're both muted. You're muted too. This is the night, my friends. Let's put the live feed in now, and let's start bringing in our panel. First up, the as we called her recently, the resident badass of Lincoln Square, Maya May. Hey, Maya. Wait, now you're muted. Everyone's muted. It's Trump. Well, you'll get there.
Okay, I was like, resident badass. Who? What?
That's you. That Spanish interview, man.
That is amazing.
And our great friend, Dr. Rachel Bitecofer. We were
Team
like,
fun.
yeah, exactly. We were like,
fun.
who's going to be fun at this thing? We were like,
I mean, I got to tell you, there's things you can't make fun. Gonorrhea, you can't make fun. Trump State of the Union, it's going to be a lift.
It's going to be like gonorrhea.
it's like gonorrhea. Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is, well, I think we have Michael Fanone in the green room, but I'm not totally sure this is him. So we need to wait on Michael just for a second. How you guys doing?
I mean, I have snacks. I have hydrated. I have wine. I also have backup snacks upon backup snacks, because if we're going to have to sit through 3 hours of this and try to stay somewhat centered, I'm going to need snacks.
Yeah, wait, what are your snacks?
I have chocolate covered raisins, which you could see me eating backstage. I think I stress ate all of my chocolate covered raisins already. I might have to, if you see me dip out, it's because I'm going to the kitchen to get more.
Perfect.
Nice.
And then I have potato chips, which I will not crunch on air, I promise.
Rachel, how are you coping?
Dude, believe it or not, I'm not much of a snacker. So I do good. I cope well with this stuff pretty well. And, I try to keep myself solid, but it's nights like tonight, we know it's going to be a shit show, right? We know he's going to lie. We know, but I think people should take heart and know that he's starting to break down publicly. And so if he's going to really try to do this 2-hour thing, it'll be a disaster for them. I can't believe that nobody can make sense to this man enough to be like, dude, less is more, right? And so I hope he doesn't go on that long as a person that has shit to do, right? And wants to move on with life. But I also want him to go off script as much as possible, because the problem is we assume everyone sees this stuff. And the truth is no one sees this stuff. And that no one pool expands quite a bit for only 2 events, 3 really. The Super Bowl, which is non-political, and then the first presidential debate in the fall, at least in the old world, and the State of the Union tend to be the only time like tuned out swing voters tune in. And so it is nice for us if he could show them exactly what they're getting with Donald Trump right now, which is a, old man yell at cloud, mix of delirium. He'll stop in the middle of a sentence and starts talking to the scenery. Hopefully something's going to happen. And I have to say, like, today was a real shit news cycle for those who are coming into this kind of glum. Like, when you're watching Donald Trump tonight, this is what you should be remembering and thinking. Today it came out because I think Rep. Garcia searched it in the Epstein database, because remember, our members of Congress have access to the thing we do not. And what he was searching for was an allegation, testimony, interview with a known accuser of Donald Trump, who accused him of raping her and forcing her to have oral sex and even hitting her in 2013 or whatever. I'm sorry, I'm not exactly sure when the allegations were, but in any case, those are in the Epstein files, and they're not there. They have been hidden. They've been taken out. And, now that's starting to get picked up because it was, kind of new on the news cycle this morning. I just saw Rolling Stone reporting on it. Okay. That's going to be a very bad news. It's a terrible way for him to go into the speech. So we'll have to see if it affects him tonight.
Michael Fanone.
Hey.
It's you.
There it is.
Michael, how are you coping tonight?
Good.
All right. We do pot, okay?
Did you just open the beer in front of your microphone, or is it just the acoustics?
My microphone is just that damn good.
Yeah, very nice. Man, you're making me thirsty, Mike.
Yeah, wait, Michael, what are you drinking?
This is Port City Optimal Wit from Alexandria, Virginia.
Nice.
That sounds very patriotic.
It
Opened
does.
a Wave Chaser by Montauk. Pretty good.
This is red wine. It's red. That's all I know.
This is
It's red.
Oregon,
I don't know what grape it is.
Top shelf.
I'm pacing myself, though.
I mean, well, if
I wish
not,
I could drink with you guys, but then I would have to take like 5 bathroom breaks during the 3-hour podcast.
well, that's what I was a little concerned about. So let's go over some ground rules here. So if you want to chime in anytime during this stupid thing, just do it. We'll have Sean backstage mute the show or turn the volume down, say what you need to say, and let's do it. If you need to take a bathroom break, just private chat us. Everyone behind the scenes, there's a private chat. We can.
Sam, I thought you were talking to the people in the comments, and I was like, there are ground rules for the people in the comments. You're telling them they have to. I was like, oh, I see.
Oh my God.
And I'm deep in the comments right now because our followers, our Lincoln Square fans give me life, give me energy. So I'm glad that y'all are in this with us tonight.
Yeah, and I'll be reading the comments as I always do. That is my number one. Like, I very rarely listen to the people I'm speaking with because I'm always just reading the comments. Yeah, and I will. I'll run
that,
some of your best. Wait, not that one. Like this one. Yeah.
Hey, can I just say I've never gotten an event with Michael, and I just want to tell you, I've been watching you on TV since day one. How much of a hero you are to this country. And I know you don't doubt that, but I want you to know it. Like, you are a true American hero. And I'm so glad to finally make your acquaintance.
I appreciate that, but I got to be honest with you. I think that speaks to how fucked up things are in America.
Yep.
Is that I would be considered a hero by anyone. That's a sad state of affairs in this country.
Ever the self-deprecator, Mike.
Yeah, well, I could have predicted that response.
As we've all been chatting, like, the worst people in the entire world have all been flashing on screen. Kristi Noem, Scott Bessent, RFK Jr. has been taking selfies with people. So believe me.
Well, I saw that, and I was like, who is like taking selfies with the guy who's just talking about snorting cocaine off of a toilet seat?
I did.
Yeah, that's the selfie.
I did incorporate his and Kid Rock's workout into my weekly workout, and I got to be honest with
In
you,
jeans?
it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah. You gotta
but I
wear-
can't tell which videos are real and which ones are AI. So I just didn't.
Right.
I didn't do any of the stuff where he was like, dry humping Kid Rock or carrying Kid Rock around shirtless. I just stuck to doing some pull-ups and a couple of push-ups, and then I rode like a exercise bike.
But in jeans. Did you do it in jeans, Mike?
Oh,
It
yeah.
has to be.
I think we got to get you some jeggings.
Yeah, you definitely have to be the jeans and no
Can
shirt.
we have Lincoln Square jeggings? Oh,
Did you guys see the thing? I don't know who put John Oliver's show, I think, put it together, but it was so funny. It was MAGA emergency room, and it had a patient who had obviously been run over by a car come in, and like they're like doing CPR, and then cause of death, and then the doctor COVID vaccine.
Yeah, I saw that. That was
Yeah.
great. It was great.
Dude. Oh,
That's amazing.
why Trump is in the building? Does he
Yeah,
have like
here he is.
bedhead? What's going on with the hair there? Did
I don't
they
know, but
not?
how
It's
have
pretty
that
messy.
done?
Yeah, maybe he just took his sweater off.
Maybe he just took a nap.
I hope.
That's yeah. I hope he didn't, because I kind of want to see him like face plant at some point during this.
I
Yeah,
wanted
what's
to
the
say-
over under? What's the over under on him dying during?
Yeah.
Is that in Polymarket?
Well, yeah.
was gonna say,
Apparently,
I think
all these
probably.
Substackers are using Polymarket now. Did you see this?
I don't know,
story?
but I got a lot of crypto to wager. So
Wait, there's a poly market on whether he croaks.
I'm
I mean-
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure
They're
there is.
not very honest in poly market. Like they don't have a 50-50, Democratic collapse in 2028 when he won't leave office.
Right.
Yeah, I
Look,
feel like they're
in
like kind of behind the times on what we could be betting for. Because I mean, that's definitely a 50-50. And the man didn't leave the first time he tried to murder Michael here, right?
Right. Look, we have this bingo card. You guys all have it in the thing, but is on the bingo card. I don't want to show it because it'll preempt this thing. Is him snorting? Is that on the bingo card? Because you remember how he does that? He's like,
Oh, the sniff. Yeah, I don't know if that's on there, and I would not recommend that for a drinking game.
Yeah, I need to pull up the bingo card actually, because I didn't pull it up. I need to
Yeah,
have
I
it.
would-
oh,
I hope
Patrick
we
in
can
the
kind of
chat
follow
says,
along. We need the audience to
you.
do that part for us. Audience, you need to tell us when he starts hitting these bingos because he's going to hit some of them. And while we're out at PSA, don't snort things off the toilet seat. Like the bathroom stall has the toilet paper. Use that or something. Like nothing. Like
I mean, that should go without saying. It's like, okay, trash goes in the trash can, right? Don't snort cocaine off a toilet
don't
seat.
snort off the toilet seat. And you would think that it would go without saying, but I once worked at a company where we had to put a sign on the water fountain that said, believe it or not, don't spit in the water fountain.
What? Oh God.
Humans are weird, dude. They're very weird.
Okay, so here's the first question. What do you think he's going to lead off with?
Hockey. That's his only win. I think he's going to try to co-opt the hockey win.
That could be.
That's a good guess,
Michael?
Maya. That's very smart.
I think he goes. He makes some dig at like something referencing number one. He's the greatest president in the history of all presidents. The State of the Union is that the country is better than any civilization going back to the advent of fucking mankind. And then he'll end that long-winded sentence with something, despite the efforts of
The
radical
haters.
lunatic leftists.
That's probably not a bad guess. Susan,
Yeah, I
what
was
do you
gonna say that feels accurate.
And that's
I-
me. I'm fucking drunk.
I think he's going to tell us
Oh,
the
good.
State
Then I
of
can
the
smoke my
Union.
pot on air, Mikey. Like you, dude.
I
I told you this is
I
a
think
great
he's going
group.
to tell us the State of
That's
the Union
not
is
pot you
hot.
smell, it's freedom, by the
Mm.
way. Sorry, Susan. There we go.
No worries.
Totally. He'll say it's hot. Yeah, he'll do the Besant. Was it Besant? No, it was Navarro, that idiot, who was like, "It's a Goldilocks economy.
Oh, best
This is the best economy."
A
It's-
gold.
I
What does
think
that
he's
even
going to
mean?
go after the court. I think he's going to not be able to stop himself. I think he's
Yeah,
going to
right.
go for tariffs because it's his thing that he uses to blackmail everybody, and now
All
he's
right.
losing it.
Let's see what he
Yep.
says. Sean, turn it up.
Oh, those schmucks. They're such schmucks.
But we should just ad lib it if we don't have sound.
Yeah, that
My
would be fun,
hands
right?
are so big.
Oh my God, did he just talk about the Melania movie or something? He's like,
Oh, no.
he must have started with saying, like, shouting out his beautiful, beautiful first lady. I think
Now
that's
he's
what
going
he
to talk
did.
about how her doc is the most successful ever. Maya, you're right. That's going to be it. He's going to say some comment about the Melania movie.
All
I
right, we're
think-
waiting on sound.
Yeah, okay. So it looks like some Dems showed up. I was hoping they weren't idealist enough to understand like the importance of optics. Like we need that room full of Democrats, right? Yeah.
How I wonder if this feed is busted. If we need a new feed, if we do, we'll get a new
Cool
one.
with it just like this.
I mean,
I was going to say, this is actually probably the better way to watch
need-
it.
We need
We'll
your
just
subtitles,
interpret
Maya.
it for
We need
everybody.
subtitles, right? And you can really see his baboon mouth, his baboon butt mouth when he doesn't have volume.
It's fun. One of the actual suggestions is to watch without sound, believe it or not, just for
Yeah.
a little bit, so you can get a kind of feel for the way he is interacting with people. And so I'm kind of actually enjoying this.
I mean, it's much more enjoyable not to listen to his voice.
It is.
Always.
While we, everyone out there, while we,
Oh, we've got our
Or-
first. Are we keeping track of how many times they're going to stand
we
and
oughta.
applaud for him? How many?
Oh, I
of
see. We're
those we're
still
gonna
doing
get.
the white pantsuit thing. Okay.
Oh,
Why can't we like?
Oh my God, he made them wear the color coordination of the ties that he wants for his plane. That the scheme, he
Did
made them
he?
do that. Red,
Oh.
blue, and gold. That's his
Oh.
the way he wants Air Force One painted. The new
Oh
scheme.
my gosh. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. Ah.
all right, let's see. While we're troubleshooting sound, everyone in the audience, let her rip. Tell us what he's saying.
I was gonna say, yeah, you tell us. We'll just tell
oh,
you.
you gotta watch for us, dude.
We'll give you jokes. You tell us what he's saying.
Hold on, let me try this.
This is true. We can't
Oh,
play.
turn
our
around for
finger
the
guy.
ages. Yep.
Can you
I was
hear it?
gonna- Oh, there it is.
There we go.
I was so excited to talk to everybody in the chat real quick. I was like, hey, everyone, where are you connecting from? I saw somebody connecting from Chile.
Anybody
Wow.
here from Chicago?
Exactly.
You guys on a date tonight, or a little crowd work, Maya?
Yep. They got to come out, kind of lead on the stand
And
up.
we will never go back to where we were just a very short time ago. We're not going back.
Oh, we're going to go
Today,
back.
our border is secure.
Oh. Actually, could we turn the sound off again? 'Cause,
No,
Thanks.
Maya, you gotta look.
Today, our border is
We're
secure.
gonna like do this
Our
to your
spirit
eyes.
is restored. Inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising fast. The
where?
roaring economy is roaring like never before. And our
Like the
enemies are
20s.
scared. Our military and police are stacked. And America is respected again, perhaps like never before.
Oh, so it's like the opposite game. When we said
Oh my
America
God.
is respected like never before, we're hated.
That-
like
that
never
counts as-
before. Got it.
I
Okay.
think I hit my bingo spot. Greatest civilization, like never.
Yeah, you're right.
After 4
You
years
nailed it. You
in which
got it.
millions and millions of illegal aliens poured across our borders, totally unvetted and unchecked, we now have the strongest and most secure border in American history by far.
So that they can seal us all in.
So, this polling on all of this is shit.
Mhm.
And
In
so,
the past 9 months,
you know-
zero illegal aliens have been admitted to the United States.
So you think about it, the polling on this is shit. 60% of Americans don't believe a word he's saying. Isn't that detrimental to his polling?
But we will always
It's
allow
huge
people
for
to
us
come
in the
in
midterms.
legally,
I mean,
people that
having
will love
him
our country and will
say
work
that things are
hard
great
to
when they're not.
maintain
It's like,
our
Right.
I mean,
country.
Biden tried to do credit claiming, yes, but he never came out and said everything's the best it's ever been in civilization, right? Like it's gonna be. Oh, I just love though that they have
The flow
they
of
deserve
deadly
what's coming
fentanyl
to them. The
across our
down
border
ballot
is down by a
Republicans, and
record
I just urge Republican
56%
people who vote
in 1
Republicans
year.
still down ballot. This is your moment, man.
Yeah.
Do it.
Honestly, the biggest thing to me is just how old he
And
sounds.
last
I mean,
year,
he
the
can't
murder
sell
rate saw
this.
its single largest decline in recorded history. This is the biggest decline. Think of it, in recorded history, the lowest number in over
Of what?
125
I have no idea.
years. Year 1900. In fact, substantially before my wonderful father, I had a wonderful father, Fred,
Oh boy.
before he was born.
His father, the
Substantially before he
racist?
was born.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Guy that was
No.
arrested
You
at a
wouldn't like
Klan
me to say
rally.
that, but that's a long time ago.
But that was
He's-
his grandpa.
The
He's
Biden
gonna take us back.
administration and its allies in Congress gave us the worst inflation in the history of our country. But in 12 months, my administration has driven core inflation down to the lowest level in more than 5 years. And in the last 3 months of 2025, it was down to 1.7%.
It's at 3 now.
Right. And by the way, all of our fact checks are from the incredible Velda. And so give a shout out to Velda.
Thank you, Velda.
Gasoline,
Crushing
which
it.
reached a peak of over $6 a gallon in some states under my predecessor, it was quite honestly a disaster, is now below $2.30
No,
a gallon in most
it's not.
states, and in some places $1.99
Velda
a
strikes again.
gallon. And when I visited the great state of Iowa just a few weeks ago, I even saw $1.85 a gallon for gasoline.
I'm sorry, where is he going that he's looking at gasoline prices? He acts like that's just...
Also, like the three of them together are just
Mortgage
the
rates
most
are the
punchable
lowest in
people.
4 years.
No,
in
I
all
didn't
of
say
and the
that.
annual
You know,
cost of
like,
a
look at
typical
those assholes.
mortgage is down almost
I'm
$5,000
non-violent and I
just
want to hit them.
since I
Like,
took
yeah, you know what I
office.
mean? Like, it's like we're being ruled by the worst nerds in the history of
And low
humankind.
interest
It's
rates
the
will
worst.
solve the
Like, it's
Biden
not just
created
that we're
housing problem
losing;
well,
it's to
at
these
the same time
dudes, right?
protecting the values of those people who already
Yeah,
own
you
a
want to give
house
JD
that really
Vance
feel
a
rich for the
swirly
first
in
time
that
in their
toilet
lives. We want to
that
protect
RFK
those
Jr. is
values. We want
doing
to keep
coke
those
off of.
values up. We're going to do both.
Yeah, for
JD
sure.
looks like he'd snort coke off a toilet seat.
Yeah, I
And we
think
are going to keep it
off
that
a
way.
couch seat.
Definitely
Stock
off the
market has
couch.
set 53
I'm bringing that
all-time
couch
record
back,
highs
baby.
since the election.
It was too
Think
good.
of that. 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up. In
The
4
dollar's about to
long years, the
collapse,
last administration got less than
Pretty
$1
sure.
trillion in new investment in the United States. And when
Crypto's
I say
Okay, he
collapsed.
keeps saying these $1
substantially
trillion
less.
of
In
investments,
12 months, I secured
and
commitments
yet
for
has
more than
never
$18
actually
billion
shown
pouring
which
in from
companies
all
are
over the
investing, how
globe.
much one is each one is investing. He states this claim over and over and over again, and nobody checks him on it.
No. Well, they all stand up and they're like, "Yay! Who said
Think
$1
of it,
trillion?"
much less
There you
than
go.
$1 trillion
They're
for
checking
4
them.
years versus much
I
more
love
than
this fact
$18
checking. I didn't know we were
trillion
gonna
Yeah, that's
have
great.
that.
What a difference
I like
a
that
president
a
makes.
lot. Very helpful.
That's
Yeah,
the
you
power of
posted-
Velda Garcia.
Yep.
A short time ago, we were
So I
a
heard
dead
that
country.
going into this, there was like
Now we are the
50
hottest country
Democrats,
anywhere in the world. The hottest.
mostly House members, or I think all House members, that boycotted the State of the Union. And I see there's like a lot of vacant seats there.
Yep.
I got to be honest with you, not a Democratic strategist, but
Businesses are forming. In fact,
perhaps
the last
no one
years are being
from the
built.
Democratic
We've
side
added
should have showed up
70,000 new
just to
construction
add
jobs
to
in
the
just a very
optics of
short
the
period of
insanity
time.
of this,
Getting bigger
you know,
and bigger and stronger.
2-hour
Believe what they're
bullshit fest.
American
He doesn't
oil
even need a
production is up by
teleprompter.
more than
he can just pull these numbers that he's fabricating right out of his ass and just regurgitate it to. I mean, this is a speech so far to the 25 to 30% of America that buys this bullshit, regardless of what they see, hear, and feel themselves, because the rest of America is not buying.
No.
I wish that Democrats would have done something, a little bit more unified in rebuttal to this this moment. This is not a time for business as usual. I feel like any participation in things like this legitimizes this insanity.
100% agree with you, Michael. When Michelle Obama didn't attend the inauguration, I said, yes, that's the energy.
Exactly.
Because if we're really saying democracy is in danger, which clearly, obviously it is, no one should have showed up for that inauguration. And I don't think anybody should be, who is pro-democracy should be in that room legitimizing it. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Michael, you said something so important right there, right? If I'm not a Democratic strategist, well, neither am I. I mean, if I am, but like I'm on the outside still, right? And like what bugs me, and not only, yes, they should do what you have suggested. All of them should have boycotted it, or they all show up and walk out. They do something extraordinary. And the
turn their back, something. Yeah, exactly.
And the reason why is I'm putting out an analysis on the cycle tomorrow that looks at the collapse of public opinion about America under the Trump era. The world is like, oh, and even conservatives abroad can see what a mess this guy is. I mean, this is a 5-alarm fire moment, and by showing up, like it's. So I mostly though, I just wish we could do one thing: all of them go, or all of them stay. Like, why can't we coordinate like Republicans would, right? Like, yeah.
I mean, that's always a tough one because Democrats are diverse by nature. That's the whole point of, I feel like, having this big tent, right? And so it becomes much more difficult to confront this authoritarian party that completely always falls in line behind their dear leader, no matter how extreme he gets. And so we're always going to be facing that uphill battle, trying to make sure that all viewpoints are heard, all strategies and tactics are heard within the party.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I'm of the opinion like the one strategy that's going to win shit is the one that we should do, and we should have no proximate goals above winning shit. So like everything else in the Republican system, it's winning shit, and then every other goal that they have is down here. And in our system, it's winning shit, but also this and also that and this way. And that's very constricting in our terms of our ability to win elections, so that's my
looks like the men's hockey team is coming in.
Oh, there they are. So apparently one of them is besties with Cash Patel and gave him his gold medal. Made me look dark, right? When you put that gold medal around that little fucker's neck.
Oh my God.
Now why I don't drink, Michael.
Surprised it didn't topple him over. He's so tiny. I
wonder if that dude has teeth now. The hockey guy, like he had knocked his teeth out. And the Twitter, it was such a great photo of him. It's classic hockey, right? Like hockey in one photo. He's got the flag and no teeth. I don't know. Shout out to people who play hockey. That shit looks like it hurts.
Yeah, no, it's sad how they just allow themselves to be co-opted in this moment.
It is.
It's sad that they would, like, after taking that phone call that pretty much the entire world listened to with Donald Trump on the phone with Cash Patel holding it on speakerphone, and having the president of the United States laud the men's hockey team and disparage the women's hockey team, who, by the way, also won gold. And listen, I ain't got no dog in this fight. I hate hockey.
That's the first time
I think that, like, in my mind, hockey is a combination of the two most, I don't even want to call them sports, but it's a perverse combination of golf and figure skating.
Yeah.
And I want nothing to do with it.
I think that's why
don't
black
think
people,
there should
for
be
the
an
most part, don't do hockey because it's golf and figure skating. That tracks. Though on the women's team, there are black women players, which I was like, I didn't know that was a thing that we could do.
That's cool.
I was excited and impressed.
Honestly,
Yeah,
all those sports that are I call them access sports because you need a shit ton of equipment
They were in
and
the Oval
supportive
Office
parents,
before.
right? And that's one of the
wanna say
reasons why it's
A
so
second very
undiverse.
big
And
congratulations to Team USA. But I have to say that
No, it's a very,
when I
very
told them
expensive
this, we
sport.
took a vote
I
on
am
the team. I said, "Anybody
guessing
vote
right
no,
now
not
the
doing it."
runtime on this
So they stood
speech
there and they
is
weren't about
going to
say
top
no.
3
I've never
hours.
seen a
Oh, no
goal
doubt.
And
I mean,
as
I
well
can't
as
understand
goalie
how that's going to
Connor
happen.
Hellebuck.
He's already like slurring, you know?
but
I mean, if these
wait, did he just call? Wait, Halliburton is a last name, or are we calling out
Yeah.
companies now? I was like, what's
We're bringing back Halliburton, baby.
the song
Enron, Halliburton.
Well, we might be
Son of
bombing by the time this is over. We might be bombing Iran, so we
I-
might call it
It's
Halliburton.
true.
Wouldn't be shocked
right.
if he announced that halfway through if he sees
doubt.
he's not getting the reception he wants. Wouldn't be
No,
shocked.
I can see it like
36
Idiocracy, like a
shots on
screen
goal, and
comes
I
on
asked
at the
him,
back, and you
"The
just
one
see
shot, the
missiles
one where you
falling on a
put
country,
in the back
Do
of
it
the
live.
and like
Fuck it,
spark
do it
parts
live.
coming out of the
he's
stage.
definitely capable of that shit, Sam. Definitely.
He refused to answer that
Mike
question.
Johnson rips off his suit, which
But I
is
just want
velcroed
to
together, and he's got
tell
like a
you
little
that the
American
members
flag
of this
Speedo.
great hockey squad,
also, by the
I'm
way,
very happy to
I
know
have
that
never
you
seen-
my vote.
how much
And I
time
just
are we
think
spending
that
on the
vote was
State of the
more
Union
important.
for the USA
That I will
hockey
soon
team?
be
I know it's
presenting
been like 10 minutes.
honor
That's what I'm
award.
I've
saying.
never
This is
seen
one time
anybody
on this
spend
will
this
be
long
given,
on
which has
something
been
that has
given
nothing
to
to do
many
with his
athletes over
agenda
the
or
years.
politics.
But when I
Yeah.
say many, not too many, like
Well, it
12,
probably
Like I said,
because it helps him.
gold,
It's,
the
I don't know
highest
what you call it because it's
division
stolen
honor
valor when
in
it's
our country, the
military, but this
Presidential
is a sort
Medal
of
freedom.
He
There's
loves that.
got to be a
He
pun,
loves
a
the
pun
other
there.
people's honor.
yeah.
I'm
mean,
surprised Trump isn't wearing the gold medal that he got from the one
Oh.
player. You know, he
And the-
loves to wear his participation trophies.
No
I'm surprised he's
doubt.
not wearing his Nobel.
It's probably under his suit, dude.
Yeah,
Oh my God, like a totem for him, like it's
Yeah.
his little like
he's got
amulet.
it stuffed in a
Or in his
sock inside of his
pocket or
pants.
Comfortable.
And I thought he deserved it. And I did take a vote.
No,
Every single
you
one
cannot
of them.
hear the medal.
I'm not giving it if anybody goes no. And every single one of them rapidly put up their hand. So I want to thank you. What a special job you did. What special champions
I
you
wouldn't
are.
take
Thank you very
fashion
much.
advice from Melania. I remember when she showed up with that jacket to go meet kids in cages that said, I really don't care on the back of it.
So stupid is accurate. Yes.
All right, come on.
Yeah, and
Boring.
Jeffries even say Hakeem Jeffries today something about like stay in
I'm
line,
also pleased to
don't give
say
him an
that
easy
the next
win or
time
something
the
like that. It was kind of a version of like
it
tread
will be
lightly,
here in
which feels
America for the
on brand, I
2028
guess.
Olympics.
Oh, good.
Berging. I like this.
right in
Basking
Los
in
Angeles. We're gonna do a
reflected
good job in
glory.
Los Angeles.
Berging. Is that really a thing, Ted? In the chat? I feel like I'm learning things.
Right.
Who's Bubba?
We never found out.
And Los Angeles is going to be.
I'll be honest with you. I think that the
Washington,
latest
D.C. is now
Epstein
one of the
dump, we've
sacred
gone way beyond
cities
who's
in the
Bubba.
country.
Oh
We've
yeah.
gotten into some deep, dark territory that honestly,
And
it's
this year, and I
it's
must say,
humiliating as an American on the world stage to know that your president is not only a 34-time convicted felon,
strange things took
somebody
place.
who's been held liable
Now, I got
for
'em
sexual
because I got
assault,
the Olympics
but
on
now
Friday,
someone who has
2026
credible,
FIFA World Cup.
substantiated
I wanted to play,
accusations
wanted
of
to
having
play, but I
raped
didn't get away with that one. I
a
couldn't play that one for myself.
13-year-old child.
But we're getting the World
Yeah.
Cup, so we have
Not to mention the fact that,
the Olympics coming.
according
and that
to
is exciting news.
Jamie Raskin, who's viewed the unredacted Epstein files, Donald Trump is mentioned more than 1 million
So this
times.
will be a year
We know about the
to celebrate
38,000
our
plus,
and the
but
heroes
according to
who have
Raskin, more than 1 million times.
men
And
like
we're watching,
Buddy Taggart.
you know,
At age 17,
careers,
volunteered to defend America in World
politicians,
War
people
II.
fall all
Serving
across
in
the
Pacific
world
under the great
for simply
General
being,
Douglas MacArthur.
you know,
Fought bravely
close
in
to
the
Jeffrey
famous
Epstein,
Battle
not
of
even
the
being
worked so hard.
accused of criminal
He was
wrongdoing,
badly wounded and
just
almost killed by enemy
really
machine guns in
poor, piss
Luzon.
poor judgment,
Exactly.
losing
81
their
years ago
careers,
this month, he liberated
their
the largest
royal
internment camp
status.
in the Philippines, one of the
But yet
largest
here in
the world.
America, no
But he earned
accountability
many honors,
whatsoever,
including a
and
Purple Heart,
we're allowing
a
this
Bronze
guy
Star,
to
came
speak
home, started a family in
on behalf
America.
of our
He is
nation.
in the gallery looking forward to July 4th.
It's pretty clear
2026 is
he hates women.
100th
America hates
birthday.
women. I think that's, you know, with the hockey team
Right.
being celebrated by Trump in the way that he did by mocking the women's team, it's just more proof like they hate women.
Well, you know, I'm going to disagree with you, Maya.
Okay, do it.
They
Let's
view
go.
women as subservient. They are like not quite as in MAGA land. Women are not quite as low as black and brown people.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you know, if you're a white woman, you're maybe
So, buddy,
a half step above black and brown people, but you're still subservient. You still shouldn't enjoy any of the vast majority of the liberties that white property men should enjoy. You certainly shouldn't have autonomy over your own body. Many believe you shouldn't have the right to vote. And
tragically claiming
I think that is now a widely held view in MAGA world.
100%. I agree with you. Disagreeing with me, you are correct.
It's really, it's like nuance, and when the rubber hits the road, who gives a shit? Because they treat everyone terribly except white Christian men.
Can I mention that he is now talking about the terrible disaster that happened in Texas? And the reason I want to talk about that with the little girls that were at the church camp that got wiped out, right? Is that we, as Democrats, if we were them, he would be scared to mention this topic, right? Because they chose to deny that city its weather warning system. Republicans did that, right? And if we had their machine and their gumption and their strategies, like he would be afraid to mention it, because that decision to deny those funds murdered those children. That's how they would talk about it. And they would, if it was, this was like their State of the Union against us, they'd be listing the names of those dead kids. Democrats killed those kids, right? Like, and you know,
people watch. Scott.
And Christy Noem is busy jetting off with Corey Lewandowski in their private jet all around the world, rather than actually doing her job.
They said, "Wow,
it's probably good for us, actually,
but not so good for those girls in Texas."
No,
right,
not at all.
Also, Susan, you bring up a great point. All of these people, like these prominent people within the Trump cabinet, you know, whether it's Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, all of them in their previous lives went on every podcast to talk about the corruption of the Biden administration and how, you know, so-and-so is jet setting off to such and such on the taxpayer dollar, and so-and-so has security provided by taxpayers, and this and that. And then you see these people not doubling down, not tripling down, but just blowing through taxpayer dollars like it was their, you know, like it was their own personal checking account. Mm-hmm. It is ironic is the understatement of the millennium when it comes to the hypocrisy of this administration.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Even if you pretend that Hunter Biden and Joe Biden did all that shit, they do one of those every 5 minutes. Like every 5 minutes, right? Like we need an entire data bank to track all the minor pay-to-plays for donations, for meme coin, for pardons. There's so many. Every day on Twitter, I see like 3 or 4 different pay-to-plays being exposed, right? We can't lose track of all that, I think.
Answers to the people, not the power.
Yeah, I think we need to change the way we do track these things. I would like to have visuals that's just keeping
That
track
is
like
the
a
debt we owe
tally.
to the heroes
Because
who
I'm
came
thinking
before
even
us
just going back to
and
the
died
airplane from
keep
Qatar that
Right.
he was
for
donated. I mean, there've been so many
year.
huge scandals
Last year,
that
I
we've
urged
almost
the
forgotten
to
about
begin
them
the
all. And
mission
so
that
I'd like to
passed the
visually
largest
just
tax
see them
cuts in
just in the
American
background,
history,
just
and a
always there.
Republican
Yeah, that would
majority
be cool, dude.
delivered so
Yeah,
beautifully.
so, I
Thank
mean,
you,
it's just
Republicans.
amazing.
The
'cause
screen-
each one of them would have been a month-long news cycle.
You couldn't fit it on an IMAX theater screen.
No.
But we can try.
That's true. We're going to need extended monitors, you know.
All Democrats, every
IMAX.
single one of them voted
I'm
against
trying to
these
get through
really
some chat
important,
here.
very
Everyone,
necessary,
you guys
massive
are
tax
bringing it.
cuts.
I wish, you know what? I wish like we could bring our audience in to just dunk on Trump. You know, like everybody gets 10 seconds. Because
That
some of
would
the
be a
shit is
fun, like
great.
the dunk on
Increases to
Trump,
hurt the people
the
instead.
dunk on Trump booth. Like
But
it's
we held
yeah.
strong, and with the great, big, beautiful bill.
Wait, did he just
we
come out
gave
for
you
data
no
centers?
tax on
Because
tips,
that
no
polls
tax
have
on
been pretty much
overtime,
with gonorrhea
and
as
no
well.
tax on Social Security.
I heard he was going to talk about data centers. He was going
Yeah,
to make
people
some.
hate
Yeah.
them. Like,
Now
like,
you're talking
and-
about the taxes of the tax cuts in the big beautiful bill that will ensure that like everyone gets I don't know $1,200. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is like $85 billion wealthier under this administration, while the rest of us peasants get our little pittance from Donald Trump.
Yeah. I paused. Oh no.
Republicans didn't know what to do on that because he just announced that he, cars should only be made in America, and they're all like, okay.
I'm from Michigan, and the carts passed between Canada and Michigan 8 times before your car is made, even if it's made in America. But Donald Trump doesn't spend a lot of time on the factory floor, so he probably doesn't know that.
He's afraid of being flipped off. Probably that's probably why.
Susan, I'm curious. Being from Michigan, how many new factories are being built under this administration or slated to be built? Like, when are we going to bring back all the industry that we fucking sent abroad? Like, are there plans to build these?
There's going to be trillions of factories, Michael. Don't
And
you worry.
in reality, we're down 80,000 manufacturing jobs.
Yeah. So, but think about this. Build all the factories you want, right? Build 1,000 of them. They're all automated, right? Like the management and the owners of those factories will do everything they can to not have to hire you. That's what because you cost too much money. You get sick, you need groceries, you have snotty kids, you got to take care of your life, you have to pay your mortgage. That's too expensive for them. Fuck you. We need machines. So we'll build the factories and we are going to staff them with robots. So I don't know. It's just like when who was it, Besant, who said, yeah, you've seen these great factories in China where everyone's working on iPhones. That could be here. I was like, what? Americans want to screw iPhones together? That's really your solution to all of this stuff? It's crazy.
It's funny. Sam, I was in San Francisco this past weekend, helping out Eric Swalwell and his gubernatorial campaign, and I met with like a lot of people from labor, and a bunch of guys took like some just rank and file, union members, specifically from manufacturing, and they flew to China as part of this and to educate them as to why manufacturing jobs, if they ever return to the United States, will not mirror what we experience today with you won't be making union wages of $29 to $37 an hour. You'll be, if manufacturing is going to return, it's going to be 90% automated, and the rest of you guys will be making $12 an hour. And then on top of that, they don't work a fucking 8-hour workday. They work a fucking, 12 to 16-hour fucking workday. No time and a half. And so there's just this whole misconception and all the misinformation that this administration puts out to these, workers who are begging, dying to get back to work, to earn a living fucking wage. That it's just they're selling them a complete and utter pipe dream.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a pipe dream. They just keep kicking it down the road instead of fulfilling the promise. They keep telling them that, oh, that promise is coming. Oh, I think one of the things they said they're setting the table. 2025 was for setting the table, and that the banquet, the feast, is going to be in 2026. And then they're going to tell us something at the end of 2026. They're going to say, oh, well, the kitchen caught on fire, so we had to start the meal over again.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bigger feast in 2029.
Yeah, exactly. But they hear the good information is out there, right? They spread all this disinformation. But if you remember, Elon and Trump on the spaces, and it wasn't even on a hot mic. They were literally having a conversation where they were laughing about unions and workers' rights and people's rights to unionize, and they laughed about that. And
we've never showed that to union people ever. Okay, so like our outreach to blue collar people, like we understand labor is that like pathway, but we don't understand like those people are voting Republican, and the reason is they don't know. We think they all know. They don't know. Trump
they don't know, and then you're also dealing with like I'm going to just refer to them as kindly as I can as a low information fucking voter.
Yeah.
They tell them on these cultural, the culture war shit as like a smokescreen for this administration makes the Reagan administration look pro-union.
Yeah.
When it comes to union busting and anti-labor, anti-fucking organizing efforts, like this administration makes, Ronald Reagan look like the most pro-union Republican
We've reached the grievance part of this.
Yeah,
he is taking the Supreme Court to task for their very wrong decision against him on Friday.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, wow. In the audience. Okay.
Leading to a solution that will be
and his
even
explanation of the decision has been wrong across the board, as I'm sure you're shocked.
Already time tested and approved.
She looks
and as
angry.
Time goes by, I believe that tariffs paid for by foreign countries will, like in the past, substantially replace the modern day system of income tax
paid for by foreign
great
countries.
Financial burden off the people that I love.
When are we getting our refunds?
You hear what he said about replacing the income tax? That's their fucked up actual plan. Like, is with these tariffs, right. It's a national. They want the national sales tax for years. You guys
moving forward,
right.
factories,
that they
jobs,
want that,
investments,
and this is
trillions and trillions of dollars will continue pouring into the United States.
His family is doing very well.
Because
off
we finally have a president
Howard
who
Lutnick.
puts America first.
Howard Lutnick. My kids came with me to the island, and they left with me. On the island. I didn't leave any of my kids behind on the island.
Father of the year.
If you have to say it.
That's nice, Emma. Because Donald,
I thought about it.
Asked, right?
You had the exact opposite.
I didn't hang out with that disgusting pervert after he was convicted, but actually
was stolen and rigged in order to drain the wealth out of the productive, hardworking people
story of this
who
Epstein
make our country
you know
great, who make
for those
our
of
country
us,
run.
I know Rick Wilson
Under
would say the same
Biden
thing
and
at work.
his corrupt
MAGA's
partners
cases.
in Congress
We spent 4 years being called pedo protectors, and it's such an offensive thing to say and to allege to someone. I'm a mother. Like, I have feelings. Like, I'm a human. Like, it's so dehumanizing, right? So for 4 years, and now it's blown up to them, and I'm having a lot of fucking fun. Okay, pedo protector. Okay, pedo protector. Like, what goes around comes around, motherfuckers.
We just got a reference to the
Suddenly use
Green
the
New
word
Deal, the Green New Scam, that was like a
Oh.
throwback to the first Trump administration,
knowing
Yeah.
which of
that
course
they
it was
caused and
never put
created
into
the increased
law.
prices that
And then he
all of
somehow
us
just
citizens
connected
are
it
doing.
to
You
open
caused that
borders.
problem.
So
You
Oh, he's
caused that
weaving. Is he
problem.
weaving
Yeah.
now?
we're doing the weave.
The weave has started. Okay.
Is that what you guys call it?
That's what he
Ladies?
calls it. That's
Yeah.
his
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, okay.
it's his signature ADHD move.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I get it.
They do
So do
those
I.
statements so they do.
I'm so ADHD. I'm like,
Their policies created the high prices. Our policies are rapidly ending them. We are
Like,
doing
it's
really
bullshit.
well. Those prices
None
are
of he's
plummeting
like,
down
well,
there.
we don't have any more economic data because we ended that, so it means we're great.
Right.
He
Thanks
said
for
day
calling that
one
out,
he was going to
Dan.
fix the economy.
Is down.
We're way past day one.
this is such
Yeah.
an insane electoral
The cost of
strategy.
chicken,
And every
butter,
Republican,
food,
just know
hotels,
that
automobiles,
Republicans all
rent
across
is
America
lower
right now
today than when I
that
took
have to
office
do
by a
elections
lot.
are
And
wanting to
even
talk
beef, which was
because
very
he
high,
is
is
just-
starting
he's
to come
stealing
down
their feet.
significantly. Just hold on a little while. We get it down. And soon you will see numbers that few people would think were possible to achieve just a short time ago. Nobody can believe when they see the kind of numbers, and especially
He's talking about his
energy,
polling,
when they see
obviously.
energy
I was
going
gonna
down
say,
to
yes,
numbers like that, you cannot believe it. It's like another big tax cut. I'm also confronting
Can you
one of the
imagine ever
biggest
going on
ripoffs
a
of our
date with a
times,
guy like
the
this?
crushing
Oh.
cost
I've
of
Sitting
overheard
across the
people.
table and
on
listening
dates.
to him.
Since the
Oh, you're
passage
good.
of
I'm going to
the
give you
Unaffordable Care Act,
a date like you've
sometimes
never
referred to
believed.
as Obamacare,
You're
big
not going to
insurance
believe it.
companies
It's going to be so
gotten rich.
good.
It was meant for the insurance companies, not for the
I
people.
think that's why he had to
With our
buy his
government
wife.
giving them
Joe
hundreds
Klein
and hundreds
told
of
an amazing
billions
joke
of
that I
dollars a
probably am
year
not going to repeat,
as
but
their stock
it
prices
had something to
soared
do kind of.
1,000, 1,200,
Tell the
1,500,
joke
and
and
even
then not tell the joke,
1,700%.
Sam. Yeah.
Joe Klein, he's a co-host
That's
of Joe
why
and
I
Joe, the
introduced
Two Joes
the
podcast.
great
He
healthcare
wrote
plan.
Primary
I want to
Colors.
stop all
He's an old, like,
payments to big insurance
right-leaning
companies and instead
journalist
give
who's
that
covered
money directly
everything
to the
forever.
people so they can buy
And his
their
joke
own
was
health care,
hysterically
which will be
inappropriate.
better
And
health care
maybe
at a much
maybe you
lower
guys do
cost.
some donations. I'll
Text
tell
it
it.
to me, Sam. I'll say it.
Well, he's lying about healthcare right now.
I was going to
Because-
say, have you guys seen his plan? It's 2 pages, and I'm talking lots of white space on
Right.
these 2
Oh.
pages.
A lot of redactions.
Meanwhile,
In
he
addition, my plan
ended the ACA
requires
subsidies for
maximum
millions.
price
I mean,
and
that is
transparency.
why
That's a big
everybody's
deal.
healthcare has gone up this year.
Sounds so
He's going
Right.
to give us
so
$8K
good.
to go buy $30,000 insurance, though.
And I
I
did
mean,
that in my first term, and the Democrats immediately
Awesome.
terminated it with full knowledge that they were doing a very bad thing for the people. Costs were going to go way up, and that's what happened. And now I'm bringing them way down on healthcare and everything else. I'm also ending
Just for
the
people in the chat,
wildly
whose
inflated
healthcare
cost
prices have
of
gone down?
prescription
Would
drugs
love to
like has
know.
never happened before.
Be a
I
show
went
of
up
hands.
$200 a month.
How much?
And my prescription, same health plan I had last year,
Mm.
$800 more a month.
Other presidents
Oh,
tried
Not
to
a
do it,
year.
but they never
month.
could. They tried.
Oof.
And
Didn't try.
I went to fill a prescription the other day that normally costs me, if I go to Walgreens, it's
They were all
$1.99.
talk and no
It
action.
cost me
But I got it done
$8.99.
under my just enacted
that I've
most
had for the
favored
past
nation
5
agreements.
years.
Americans who have for decades paid
So I don't
by
know what
far
percentage
the
of an
highest
increase that
prices
is,
of any nation
but
anywhere in
on
the
top
world.
of my
for
$800
prescription
more
drugs.
I pay a
We
month
now pay the lowest
main
price
healthcare
anywhere in
plan
the world for drugs.
through the Affordable
Anywhere.
Care Act.
The lowest price.
I also pay like a fucking 800% increase on my
So in my
prescription drug care.
first
So
year, second
Oh
term,
my God.
Well, and I saw somebody in the chat say that most people they know don't have health care. And I think that's very much a reality for many people in America right now. I don't have health care. I just expect myself to remain very healthy. But the fact is, it's just not affordable. And I know so many people who avoid going to the doctor or delay going to the doctor because it's so expensive. And that ends up costing Americans more because then people end up in the emergency room.
And of course,
So
the big lie is that things got worse with Obamacare when they got astronomically better. I'm old enough to have lived
And here
without
tonight is the
insurance for
very
a
first
significant
customer
portion
ever
of
to
my
get
20s
that
while
great
I was doing
discount, and it is
payroll
big.
for a Republican
Catherine
pollster
Rayner,
firm,
for 5
of
years,
course,
she
right,
and
with
her husband have
insurance.
struggled
And
with
when I had my
infertility.
son, my
They
first
turned
son,
to
when I was
IVF.
24, I had medical complications.
One
My
drug has
insurance
been
cut off the
costing
moment
Catherine
he left
$50,000
my body,
per
right?
Wow.
So I
But a few weeks
I've
ago, she
lived the
blogged
nightmare.
onto
And then,
the
when you
FootRx
wanted to
website
buy,
and got that same drug that
Fanone's
cost
through
$4,000, got
the
it for
ACA
under
exchange.
$500.
What people don't realize
A
is in the old
reduction of
days, you
much more
literally could
actually
not
than
buy that because you had to
$3,500.
list everything that you ever had.
Catherine,
If you
we are
left
all
something
praying
off,
for you,
it
and
was
you're
not
going
covered.
to
If you
be
admitted it,
a
it
great
was not
mom.
covered, right? Like
Right.
the idea that insurance didn't improve dramatically, as shitty as it still is with Obamacare, is just insane. And I wish Democrats did a better job, talking about the shit that they had done. I mean, that ship has really sailed on Obamacare. And now, of course, it's popular because the alternative is Trump's
So
fake
now
plan.
I'm calling on Congress.
Which
to
it has
clarify
nothing,
what
like you said, it has nothing
favorite
about
cases from
pre-existing
mental
conditions
law.
on
Now, one
there.
thing I'm not
And
sure it matters
I think
it'd be
my
very hard
daughter
for
ended up
somebody
being
that
born in
comes along
Argentina because
after
I
me to
was
say,
just finishing grad
let's
school
raise drug
when I
prices
got
by
pregnant with
700
her,
or
and I was like,
800%.
oh, it's going to cost me
But
how much
John and Mike,
to
if
have
you
this
don't mind,
baby in the
clarify it
United
anyway.
States? Oh
Yeah.
my
They may do
God.
it.
And then I
Clarify it
looked at
anyway.
childcare. I was like,
Yeah.
Many
oh,
Americans are
okay,
also
I guess we'll
concerned
move
that
to South America then.
energy demand
No
from AI
doubt.
data
I mean,
centers
that's
And now I
could
insane.
speak
apparently
Spanish
drive up
fluently.
their
And
electric
it's really
utility bills.
cool. I mean, that's cool. But
Please do
damn,
announce
right? It
that
should
I
be
have
cheaper to go on a
negotiated the new
5-star
rate
vacation
payer
into
protection
Mexico
plan.
and
You
get,
know what that is?
medical care, dental
We're
care.
telling
I
the
just
major
got
tech
dental
companies
insurance
that they
again.
have the
I didn't have
obligation
it for
to
like
provide
3
for their
years,
own
right?
power
Like
needs. They can build
it's,
their own power plants
and
with
I have a
photovoltaic.
PhD, America.
So that
We
no
have to
one's
get,
prices will
we
go
have
up.
to get our
In
shit
many
together to
cases,
get through this
prices of
moment and
electricity will
hope
go
that the
down for the
chaos that this
community
man
and very
creates allows
substantially
us
down.
to have
This
a
is a
moment
unique
where we
strategy
move
never
the
used
ball
in
down the
this
damn
country
road a
before.
little bit.
We have an old grid; it could never
Yeah,
handle
I
the
think this
kind
is
of
one thing, right?
numbers, the
The
amount of
Democrats
electricity that's
or at least
needed.
the voters,
So I'm
the voting
telling
base,
them
maybe
they
not
can
the
build their
leaders,
own
but we think,
plant. They're going to
how
produce
could
their own
anyone
electricity.
choose?
It will ensure the company's
You have
ability
two
to get
options:
electricity while at the same
free
time
healthcare or
lowering
some
prices
sort
of
of subsidized
electricity for you,
healthcare,
and could be very
or
substantial. So
we
all
get
of
to
you cities and
break down the
towns,
doors of
you're going to see
brown
some good
people
things happen over
and
the next
terrorize
number of
them and
years.
split up their families.
Another
Those are the
pillar
two
of the
choices.
American
And
Like,
put them
dream
in
is
you could have
to
this,
attack is
but you
health
can't have
care.
this,
Yeah.
and
Witness
they'd still
tonight
choose
is
this.
Raisa Wiggins, a
Yeah.
mom
Well,
with
that's the
two
thing. They'd rather lock up Black and brown
because
people and have to
50
pay their
homes
health
in Los
care
Angeles
to
Yes.
people who are
get
incarcerated or
confirmed
wrongfully
by fast
detained
inspection.
than to
Pay
have
okay
health care for
and turn those
themselves.
houses
Like,
into
that's
Right.
insane
rentals,
to me.
stealing
I mean,
away
that's what
her
Jonathan Metzel's book,
American
Dying
dream.
of
She was
Whiteness,
devastated.
found. It found that
Stories
people
like
Book
this
club.
are
are
literally
why
willing
last
Book
month I
club.
signed
to
executive order
to
to
vote
ban
against
large
stuff
Wall
that would
Street
help
investment
them
firms from buying
because
up
they also knew it
into
would help
thousands
Black and brown
single
people.
family homes.
And because of that, they'd rather one of the dudes in the book was dying of a kidney thing and wouldn't like I'd rather die than pay for minorities' health care. That's how fucked up like the white nationalism shit is still in this country. And anyone who doesn't think it is, I urge you do some reading on that because it is
People,
bad.
corporations.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes back to rather than let swimming pools be
Okay,
integrated, some swimming pools just filled them with concrete instead of, and it's insane what people are willing to give up to feel better than. And
We're also
I'd like to
working to
think
make
that
it
enough
easier
people
for
now are
workers to save
realizing
for
the error of their
retirement.
ways and are
Under
coming
this
around.
administration,
And
we will
Blue
always
Tsunami,
protect
as I saw in
Social
the chat,
Security
yes,
and Medicare.
please.
They are not protecting
Yeah,
it.
we are seeing
Interestingly-
recent shit we've never seen in public opinion. I mean,
Social
it's
Security,
immediately
Medicare,
after
Medicare.
Jan 6, we saw it a bit until they launched their revision plan. And keep in mind, that was a full court
Since
press
I took office,
to rewrite in people's
the typical
minds what happened
401k
to Michael
balance is
on
up by at
January
least
6th, right? And eventually they were
$30,000.
able to do that. And
That's a
ever
lot of
since
money.
then, it's 90%
Yeah.
approval amongst
Millions and
Republicans. But
millions of
now,
people. because the
things
stock
are
market
really
has done
starting
so
to look
well, getting all
shaky for
those
him
records,
because he has
your
screwed
401ks are way
his
up.
own base over
Yet
on no
all
wars,
working
on
Americans still do
Epstein,
not
Yep.
have
on
access to a
tariffs,
retirement
and
plan
believe it or
with
not.
contributions
These
from
fucked up people
employers.
are mad at him
To
because he
remedy
hasn't
this
deported
gross
enough
disparity,
people.
I'm
Okay, that's how
announcing
fucked
that
up
next year my
mad that he's,
administration
you
will
know,
give
30
these
million
awful forgotten
bases.
American workers,
So he's
great people,
facing
people that
for
built
the
our
first
country,
time like
access
a
to the
weakness.
same
And I'll
type of
tell you,
retirement
because I know
plan
so many
offered
people
to
who are
every
listening to
federal
this
worker.
probably live like
We
we
will
do.
match your
Constant
contribution with up to
despair and
$1,000
terribleness.
each
And I'm
year.
not trying to take that away
As
because
we
it's
ensure
gonna
that
be
all
bad.
Americans can
But
profit
if he
from a
doesn't have
rising
popular
stock market,
support,
let's also
he
ensure that
cannot stay
members
in
of
power
Congress
in 2028.
cannot
Like whatever
corruptly
move he's
profit
planning,
from using
that shit will
insider
not work. And he
information.
is deeply unpopular, and that's where he is right now. So let's
I hope
just,
his only move is to the graveyard by 2028. That's the move I'm hoping.
I feel like evil lives forever.
I mean,
Speaking of
that's
screwing over his own base, he did go on a long riff about what he wants to do about AI data centers, and
They
he's got
set
an
up
innovative
I can't
plan to give them tax breaks. This
I
is
can't
not going to
believe it.
sell with his base.
Did Nancy
First of
Pelosi
all,
stand up if she was
if you
there?
look at where these data centers are being built,
Oh,
they're
yes,
in rural
Pocan.
areas. It's in
Pass
Trump
the
country, and
Stop
their electric bills are
Insider
going through
Trading
the
Act
roof.
without
And
delay.
it's for data centers for
He's
robots
also-
to take your job. And this is something he's highlighting. I feel like this is a huge demonstration of how out of touch
Mhm.
this guy has become.
I wasn't sure if anybody
Yeah,
would
the fact that
decide
they're
to
trying
support
to
that.
sell
I'm
data
very
centers to
impressed.
rural communities, when rural
But when it
communities are
comes
seeing
to
their
the corruption that is
electricity
plunging,
prices
really
skyrocket and they're seeing what it's doing
plundering
to other
America,
communities
there's
is
been no more stunning example
Yeah,
than
so I live in
Minnesota,
Virginia.
where
and
members of the
Virginia, like
Somali
I'll tell
community
you right
have
now, like
pillaged
my
an
apartment,
estimated $19
I have
billion
8
from the
fucking
American
data
taxpayer.
centers
We have all the
that I could
information.
throw a rock
And in
from my
actuality, the
fucking
number is much higher than that. And
porch.
California,
and hit
Massachusetts,
all of them.
Maine, and many other
I'm,
states
like
are
there are
even
data
worse.
centers everywhere. They're being
It's the
built
kind of corruption
fucking
that
rapidly.
shreds
They
the fabric of
employ
a nation.
like
We are working on it
10
like you
fucking
wouldn't believe.
people
So tonight, although
because they require
said it 4
almost
months ago, I am
zero
officially
like
announcing
round the
the
clock
war on fraud to be
presence.
led by
There's
our
usually
great
a couple of
Vice
security
President
staff
J.D.
there,
Vance.
some maintenance staff to make sure that the HVACs are working to keep the temperature. But like these are not massive employers. They're just massive buildings that take up a tremendous amount of space, raise electricity costs. Like I know my electricity bill has gone up astronomically in the past 5 years that
If we're
I've lived.
able to find enough
And
of that fraud, we will actually
in water.
have a
In
balanced
water, they
budget
use
overnight.
so much water.
and then, you know, it's like
We'll balance our budget.
these like
Somali
rural
pirates,
areas that were beautiful and had
there are large
beautiful
parts of
landscape
Colorado
are
where bribery,
now
corruption, and lawlessness
lighted by
the
these
norm.
like ginormous
Oh
fucking
my God.
Supporting these cultures through unrestricted
He
immigration
just
and open
was talking
borders.
about Somali
Bring those
pirates.
problems right here to
Yeah.
the USA.
he's
And it is
he's going
the
after Minnesota right
American
now,
people who
and he's
pay
talking
the
about
Oh,
price.
he's
corruption.
going all nativist on this right here.
Rent,
Full nativist.
taxes, and
I'm gonna make
He-
a weird one. Anybody
we will take care of this problem. We're going to take care
Look,
of this
Oh,
problem.
and
I think
We are
this
not
is
playing
his
games.
entry into the
Delilah.
country of the midterms. He's talking
He
about how
also
he's gonna
promised that he was going to balance the budget. And this guy has blown such a hole in our debt. I me that's insane.
Delilah Cole.
Well, he said he's going to
was
do it
only
by
5 years
stopping
old in
corruption
June
from Somalians
2024 when
in
a
Minnesota.
18
What about corruption from his
plowed into
administration?
her
Like,
stopped
what?
car traveling at 60 miles an hour or more. The driver was an illegal alien let in by
I
I
just
heard
love
that
that.
known.
given a commercial driver's license
Oh
by
yeah,
open
man.
borders
Don't
politicians
put him
in
down.
California. Doctors said Delilah would never be able to walk or talk, have a good life. She wouldn't
Michael,
even
can
be
I
able to
ask
eat
you a
again.
question?
But
Since I
against
have
all
you,
odds, she is now in the first grade
I'm on
learning to
board
walk.
'cause this guy's fucking boring
And
as
she's
hell.
here
right?
this evening with her dad, Marcus.
I don't
a
understand the
fantastic man.
allure, right?
Delilah, please.
We're
You're
all
a
going to
big
go on a
inspiration.
side
Please
quest
stand
now.
up.
I love this.
So what I wanted to know from you is before Jan 6, before that day, were you into politics at all? Did you read the news every day? I didn't. I thought so, right? That you. So that shit came at you kind of like, what the fuck, out of left field, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I recognize like the polarization of politics, like beginning probably like the last year of the Obama administration, leading up into
Okay.
Trump.
Many of
And
that most illegal aliens do not speak
before
English and
that,
cannot read
it
even the
was
most
not even a
basic road
conversation
signs
that
as
I
to
ever
direction,
had
speed,
or
danger,
engaged in with
or
anyone.
location.
And it wasn't just me.
That's why
It was
tonight
like
I'm calling
my
on Congress
colleagues
to
at work,
pass what
it
we will
was
call the
pretty much
Delilah
everybody,
law,
even my
barring
family,
any state
who,
from
like,
granting
all are
commercial
now,
driver's licenses
you know,
to illegal aliens.
politically engaged because of the adverse experience with this administration, with Donald Trump. I mean, we voted,
Right.
but that was pretty much it. That was like the
You're the
extent.
normal one in this room because everyone in here is abnormal. We're all in the 1%, not the economic 1%. Maybe some of us are. I'm certainly not. We're in the interest 1%.
You know,
Political interest 1%.
Rachel, like I travel the country now, and like I talk to
These are
high
the
school and
angel
college
moms and
students
families
about
that
civic
for
engagement.
decades our
And I
government
think that
betrayed, our media
that's why we're in the mess that we're in today,
Yeah.
because
hard to believe, actually.
maintaining this democracy
2023, a
is
16-year-old
a lot more than just voting every 2 or 4 years.
Medea
is.
Voting, it's
supposed to
you know,
perform
it's
in her town.
forming community, it's forming
She
coalition
never arrived. Her mother, Jacqueline,
community
went home
members that
to
you know
look for
that
her.
are
She
passionate
found
about
her
similar
lying dead in a
issues,
bathtub,
and then it's
bleeding
not just
profusely.
elevating and
She was
electing a
dead
candidate.
25 times.
It's holding that
Those
candidate
deaths
that you voted for
was a
accountable
previously arrested illegal
when they
alien who had
deviate
broken
from the
in
promises
and
that they made to
just
you.
brutally
Like, you can't
extinguished
just send these people to
the
Washington
brightest
and
light in her family's
not engage
life
with them anymore. Like,
violently.
that's how they become corrupt and corroded
Broken mother is in
by
the
Washington
gallery to
politics.
remind everyone in this
Like, if
chamber.
Once the electoral
exactly why we are
penalty went
deporting
away for
illegal alien
Republicans,
criminals are
that was what
simply
happened, right?
abducted
So like
numbers.
there used to be a
Getting them
penalty and it
the
went
hell out
away.
of
By
here
the way,
fast.
we can
We don't
actually
want
pinpoint the exact last meeting that ever happened, which was Claire McCaskill's first run, not the one that she lost her seat in, but in Missouri, she was running against a guy named Todd Akins or whatever. And he had made a comment about legitimate rape and how women could just close their legs if they didn't want to get pregnant. And
Yeah, there was a biological like
Yeah.
thing
That-
Body
decided
just
that-
rejected it.
before or after the
We can never
grab them
forget
by
that
the
many in
pussy
this room
fucking moment? Because to me,
This was
Yeah.
before.
way before.
Yeah.
This was in
to me, the
2012.
grab them by the pussy moment was the moment that politics
But
lost
indeed,
all
they
And
its
were
here's the
doing
thing that happened,
honor
Michael,
and
is that
accountability.
Republicans didn't vote for him. Okay, some of them, not all of them. They only need to get down to
Some of the worst
70-ish
criminals anywhere in the
percent,
world.
though, to have it
The only
be
thing
like where that
standing
Texas
between
state
Americans
Senate
and a
seat
wide
that just
open
flipped,
border.
that's what happened there, right?
No, I-
So,
I've always said that, you know, Trump invited these fringe elements of American society that never participated in American politics before, mainly because they were revolting fucking human beings. Like,
Democrats in this
the deplorable.
You might call them deplorable.
Yeah, no, they're revolting. They're revolting examples of human beings. They're the, you know, the diehard fucking racist, the people that believe that Christianity is a political persuasion.
I mean, imagine if the media had actually been like, well, the reason she said that is this is the people who are supporting Trump, what you just laid out. Instead, they're like, oh, Clinton called Matt Trump voters deplorable, and they normalized that shit, right?
Yeah.
Like, now we're all living
I
in
agree
this.
with you. I agree with you, but imagine if Hillary Clinton herself or the you know surrogates in the Democratic Party had gone out and done a better job of explaining the fact that like we've had this movement in this country for you know going back to Reconstruction and you know our inability as a country to properly ban
I'm inviting every legislature to
racists
join with my
and fucking
administration in
Confederates
reaffirming a
from
fundamental
serving the
principle.
government and
If
allowing
you
them to
agree
gain
with this
traction
statement,
and allowing
stand up
them
and
to
show your
metastasize into the
First
modern
duty of
day
the
white
American
Christian
government is
nationalist
to protect
party
American
that is
citizens,
MAGA.
not illegal aliens.
Like if they had done a better job of explaining to mainstream America what exactly it was that she was referring to when she said deplorables, rather than trying to like walk that back and step away from it, I would have doubled down on it. I would have gone all the way up.
We never do that shit, though.
No, we never did that. But look, we're they're like, you guys are pedophiles. You drink the blood of children. You're fucking awful people. You're
That's what they're-
monsters. You have
I didn't see
space
any Democrats
aliens
talking
and
about
space
grape
lasers.
soda.
And we're like, you're deplorable. And they're like,
Oh my god! What did we say? It's fucking
Guns
Democrats.
and religion.
my
Oh
God.
no.
No, dude,
Yeah,
she
and we're like,
should've-
oh,
that's
geez,
exactly
sorry,
what she
guys.
should have done, dude. I mean, we should have
We didn't
leaned
mean
in on Obamacare in 2010. We should have been there. Fuck right, we gave you insurance, and boom, this is what it did. Instead, we're like, oh, I'm sure Obamacare will get better in the future. I mean, it's so
Yeah, like,
stupid,
well-
right? We need offense. Yeah.
wait, what? Susan, did you see what he's talking about here? Somebody lay it
Oh,
on
he
me in
just
the chat.
he had a whole thing about that the U.S. government is to protect U.S. citizens and not illegal aliens, which is funny because they killed many 2 U.S. citizens just this year alone, supposedly.
Three.
Well, 3 now,
Three.
3 that we know of.
And you can see that was Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, who was sitting on his hands. He was one of the 6 Democratic members of Congress who Jeanine Pirro tried to prosecute for exercising their right to free speech, and she failed miserably when they just happened to tell service members,
Oh.
you don't have to follow illegal orders, which
He's going off
Is it
stage.
easier she
deadly
was drunk and
sanctuary
the grand
cities
jury when she
that
went out? I
protect
bet
the
she was.
criminals
You
and
think
enact
Judge
serious penalties
Judge
for public
Judy
officials
was
who
drinking when she
block the
tried to go to
removal
the
of
grand
criminal
jury?
aliens.
Man, they
In
laughed her
many
ass
cases,
off.
drug
I know
lords,
that.
murderers all over our country. They're
Wait, what is she
blocking
shouting?
the removal of these people out of our country, and
Oh,
you
boy.
should be ashamed of yourself.
This is where he gets baited.
Yeah, this is the best part.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, it's getting
I
good.
want someone to bait his ass. He's like if we can get him off script, it's good.
I wish that Omar was mic'd.
That's
Yeah.
see, they should have snuck in a little amp. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd bring in some kind of mega, like some secret thing, and be like,
And perhaps most importantly, I'm asking you to approve the Save America Act.
Let's talk about it.
Fun
I love
fact,
talking about the
it
Save
makes-
Act or so-called Save
This
America Act.
this fact check here is essential.
It makes it harder for women who are married to vote. And by the way, that is a GOP
elections. The cheating
voting
is
law.
rampant
Big time.
in our
Married
elections.
women
It's
vote,
rampant.
not of white women. Probably
I'm gonna
Very
offer.
simple.
I'm gonna offer some
All
advice
voters
right now
must
to
show voter ID.
like this legislation is probably going to end up fucking passing. It's time to start fucking organizing and getting people the proper identification
All
that's
voters must
required
show
to register
proof
to
of
vote.
citizenship
It's
in order
time to
vote.
start organizing transportation to get people to voting
And
areas,
no
whether it's
crooked
for the
mail-in
midterm
ballots
elections
except for illness,
and beyond.
disability,
But start
military,
creating
or
that
travel.
groundwork
None.
now
Mhm.
to combat this legislation, because
And this should be
this
an easy one,
administration
and by
is-
the way, it's polling at
they-
89%, including Democrats.
anyone that thinks that these
89%.
policies are absolutely abhorrent and insane, and who could possibly think that a political party would think that this is a winning
And even the
path
new communist
to-
mayor of New York City, I think he's a nice guy.
anything,
Speak to him a lot. Bad
you're right.
policy, but nice
it
guy.
is
Just
insane.
said
They
want
are abhorrent
people
policies,
to
and
shovel
they don't have any
snow. They're gonna
intention
hit
of
hard.
winning
Want some to shovel
fairly.
snow,
They're
but
going to cheat.
if you apply for that
And so
job,
you
you
have
need to
to do
show 2
absolutely
original forms
everything
of
you
ID
can.
and a social security
Beginning
card.
yesterday,
Yet
to
they don't want
combat that,
identification for the
getting
greatest
people
privilege of them
registered,
all,
getting
voting in
in a
America.
way that we've never seen or experienced in this country before, and that includes
Republicans and Democrats
making sure that people
overwhelmingly
that
agree on the policy
don't have identification cards or real ID or whatever the fuck it is that's gonna be required in these red states, making sure that people have access to that. It's literally like it's going to be exactly like it was when post right after Jim Crow, where you have these kids from the north going down into the south and fucking helping people register, and there's going to be It is not going to be
The reason they don't want to do it.
without
Why would anybody not
you know
want
without
voter ID? One reason.
It's going to be
Because they want to
scary,
cheat.
and it's
There's
going to
only
be
one reason.
and but it needs to
They
be
make up
done.
all excuses. They say
It is the new
it's
Jim Crow,
racist. They
and
come up with
I
things
think
to
a lot
almost
of
say
people,
what
the way we're
imagination
talking
they
about
have.
it, we need to
They
talk about
wanna
voting
cheat,
as a
they have
two-step
cheated,
thing.
and
It's
their policy is
registering
so
and
bad
voting.
that
I think
the
a lot of
only way
people
they can
hear
get
Save
elected
America
is to
Act and
cheat.
voter ID, and
We're
they
gonna
go, "Oh
stop
yeah, of
it. We
course
have
you
to
should
stop
have
it, John.
ID when you show up at the polls," and not even understanding what types of IDs are going to be allowed and not allowed. And so I think we need to do a lot better explaining to people that no, just
here's
to
one more
register to vote,
opportunity
you're
to show
going to have
common
to go
sense in
in
government.
person with documents
In the
to
gallery
prove your
tonight are
citizenship. And so
Sage, Blair,
many
and her
people
mother,
register
Michelle.
online. Many
In
people
2021
register,
stage,
I think
was
most
14
Americans
when
register
court
online
officials
or
in
get
Virginia
registered through the
sought to
DMV when they get their
socially
driver's license. And
transition
so
her
if
to
you
a new
move,
gender,
for
treating
example,
her as a
and you
boy,
need to
hiding
re-register
it
and
from
you
her
discover,
parents.
oh, well, now I need my birth certificate, but it's got to be a
Confused age, ran
certified birth
away from
certificate.
home.
Well, now you have to order that
Epstein
from your
was
state
found
that
in a
you were
horrific
born in.
situation
So
in
it might
Maryland.
not be the state where you're
A
living. And that's going to
left-wing
cost you
judge
money. It could
refused
cost
to
you
return
$10. It could
Sage
cost
to
you
her parents
$15.
because
You could use
they
a
did not
service like
immediately
Vital
state
Check.
that
That's
their
going to cost you
daughter
even more money. A
was their
passport
son.
card is $30. A
Sage was
passport, I
thrown
think, is
into an all-boys
$130.
state home
And a passport can
and
take
suffered
4 to
terribly for a
6
long
weeks to
time.
get.
Or
And
more.
shut
So
off.
all
Or
of
more,
that
and they've shut down
exposed
locations like
in
the
one
library and post offices
school,
that
pride,
typically
scholarship,
handle those types of things, especially in rural areas.
Michelle, please stand
Like
up.
people have fewer and fewer avenues to access getting that identification.
Yeah.
Because of this administration.
Look,
Yes.
my wife, if she had to show her birth certificate, there's no way she could possibly do it because she wasn't born here.
Right.
It's an impossibility. And like a lot of people, like you said, don't have,
15 years
most
ago,
Americans don't
somebody
have
was up here and
passports.
said that this
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah,
a
it's
thing.
not just that they're asking for national voter
Now we
ID.
have
I
to
think it's
say it
very
because it's
important that we
going
make
on
sure,
all over in
because it
different
does
states.
pull at
Not even
85% for
telling
the
the
reasons
terrorists.
Exactly.
Maya said. And we
But
know,
surely we can all
we know
agree no
now
state
because
can be
red
allowed
states did
to
this a long
rip
time ago. I was in
children from their
Georgia for my
parents' arms and
PhD. I spent 6
transition them
years there.
to a new
So like
gender
the
against the
showing your
parents'
ID
will.
to
Who would
vote thing
believe
is
that
pretty
we can
like
talk about
Rachel,
established.
hold on
We
one sec.
must ban
He's
it,
talking about
and we must ban it immediately.
he's talking about trans.
Okay.
I was talking about trans kids. Everybody, full transparency. I have a trans kid, a trans teen who's now 18, but
Look, nobody
everything that
shows
the
up.
Trump administration
These
has done around
people
trans
are
kids has
crazy.
affected
I'm
and
telling you.
impacted my
They're
family
crazy.
directly. And I think people have there's a
He just
lot of
called all
talk
the
now.
Democrats crazy because they didn't stand up
Amazing.
when he said there's only 2 genders, male and
Boy, oh,
female.
boy. We're
That's
lucky
what
we
this
have a
First of all,
country with people like
this was
this.
not a conversation that
Democrats
people were
are
having at their
destroying our
kitchen tables
country, but we
before
stopped it
Republicans
just in the
realized
nick
that
of
this
time,
could be a
didn't we?
wedge issue to try to create division, and before they decided that, oh, okay, we can talk about trans women in sports and that can rile up their base. It wasn't an issue for anybody.
No one cares more
It's not a
about
problem. It's a
protecting America's
non-issue
youth than our
Yeah.
It really
that they've
is.
wonderful
used
first
to.
lady. Now a movie star.
It is
She's
a
movie star. Can you
fraction.
believe it?
We're talking about a community that
Who would have believed that?
Oh, here it goes,
Over the
movie
past
star.
year, she
Of
has
a
had an
fraction
incredible
of-
impact.
She still hates
championing
him. Look at the
AI
look on her face. She
legislation,
hates
advancing
She
a
is
landmark
fucking like
executive order on
epitomizes
foster care,
resting bitch face.
and helping secure
Because
$30
she
million
reads
You
the
know, we don't
news.
all
the
love, but
Melania
I mean,
Trump forced
come on.
you to
Like
independence.
they're not keeping the
initiatives,
reviews
a
away from her,
tremendous,
right? Like they keep
really
all the news away
tremendous
from
thing that
him. So
happened.
she
And
knows
Oh,
how much
and you know what's
bipartisan
really
support
funny
this thing
is on
gets.
Friday, the Rotten
bipartisan support than I
Tomatoes
do.
zero
I get
ratings
none. She
came
gets a
out,
lot.
and it was reported that there were
Someday
no
you're gonna have to tell
attendance
me
in
how
the
you did
theaters.
that.
Saturday and Sunday they
And
sold a whole
students and
bunch of tickets.
educators in
We
every
don't know
state
who
have
bought them
joined
all,
the first
but like
lady's
you know, that
efforts
was a
in the
shit night in the White House for
presidential
Donnie
AI
because he
challenge, keeping
probably led
America's
her
next
into this belief
generation
that she was going to
positioned
be the
to
star because everything's
succeed and
always the greatest
strongly
and biggest,
succeed in
right?
the future.
And then she got embarrassed. man.
Tonight
She's
we
such a
welcome
fucking
2 young
embarrassment.
people whose lives
oh,
reflect
this is
I don't even
humiliating.
think anybody
impact.
hate watched
Sierra
that movie.
Burns and
Like, no.
Everest.
They make our
Nevermore.
troops watch it though. Did you
Thank
know
both,
that?
and
They've
Melania,
made our
thank you. I know how hard
forces
you work
watch
on it.
it.
Thank Thank you. man.
Between that and Fox News.
You guys, I want to bring in Joe Sudbe to the Dunk Fest. He's backstage. I'm going to bring in the. Hey, Joe, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
We got you.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Oh my God,
Let's-
it was just fun listening to you.
I'm very
Listening
proud
to
to
all of
say
you
that
was
during
way
my
better than
time in
listening to
office,
him.
both
I just got to tell you.
Thank you.
the
We
first 4
appreciate
years
you.
and
Well, so what are your
the
thoughts so
second
far?
year,
Joe?
Joe?
Let's listen to him.
there has
So
been
there,
a tremendous renewal
It's
in
just one
religion,
lie after
faith,
another, after
Christianity,
another,
and
after
belief
another.
in
It's
God.
like this is a Trump rally,
Tremendous renewal.
and
Right.
it's just insane. I do want to say though, because many of you know I host my own show on SiriusXM where I look at state legislative races. To me, the more important news with 2 special elections in Pennsylvania,
especially
where
true
Democrats
among young
overperformed
people,
outside
and
of
a big
Pittsburgh
part
by
of that had to do with
35% and in
my great
Allentown by
friend,
17%.
Charlie
So
Kirk, great guy,
what's
great
happening in
guy.
the Capitol, that little bubble, is really irrelevant to what's happening in the real world.
Oh,
And
Erica
and
Kirk.
people
Oh, here's
understand the
Erica.
assignment.
At least she fucking didn't show up wearing hot pink.
I honestly thought she was going to have something sparkly on. I really did.
Who do you think fucking finally got through to her? Like, bitch, you're supposed to wear black.
His wonderful wife, Erica, is with us tonight.
Do it
Erica,
for one
please
night.
I wonder if the lights are going to flicker. Remember, she said that
I'm sure he
anytime
will.
she felt Charlie's presence and he was around, lights would flicker.
If Charlie was in heaven, damn it, the Oregon Ducks would have won the Natty this year. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God. Are her and JD Vance doing the same eyeliner?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're also they're in a throuple with a couch. Hey.
That's what happens when you eye
Thank you a
kissed.
lot.
You end up with the same
In Charlie's
eyeliner.
memory, we
They're
must all
polyester
come together
amorous.
to reaffirm that there is one nation under God, and we must totally reject political violence
Thank
of
you.
any
Thank
kind.
you.
Oh my God.
polyester and
but did he just call out political violence of any kind?
Yes,
yes,
he did.
he did.
Mm.
At the Capitol.
Just not beating. It's okay
The
to beat
irony.
when they're Trump supporters. Don't you get that? Like, as long as you're committing your crimes for him, you're a hero. Yeah.
Really
Exactly.
a beautiful thing to see. Above all, unleashing America's promise requires keeping our
I
community
would not be
safe.
surprised if we
We have
find
made
something
incredible
terrible out
strides, yet
about Mike
dangerous
Johnson. He
repeat
just has that
offenders continue to
grand
be
old
released
pedophile
by
look to him. And, they had that weird
Democrat
story where him and his
politicians
son have to
again and again.
patrol each other to keep
We're
themselves
honored
off of
to be
porn.
joined
He
tonight
just,
by
Yeah.
there's so
a
much
woman who's
more
been
than,
through hell,
like, he's
Anya
worse than we even know.
Turetsky.
I just,
In
you just feel it
2022,
coming off
she and her
of him.
beautiful daughter, so
Worst
beautiful,
speaker in the
both
House
beautiful young
Yeah.
to the
women.
institution, as an
Marina
institutionalist,
War-torn-
there's been no steward ever
war-torn
as
Ukraine
shitty as
to
that
live with
man, and that
relatives
includes Kevin
near
McCarthy.
Charlotte,
Well,
North
I'm
Carolina.
curious
And
about
by
this
the way,
because
what's going on
his,
with Charlotte?
it took
Last summer,
a lot of votes to get
23-year-old
him in.
Amanda was
He's
riding home on the
treading a
train when
very narrow
deranged
margin
monster
here. Do you
who
think
had been
he's still in
arrested over a
power just
dozen
because nobody
times and
else
was
wants this?
released through no cash bail,
Joe, what do you think?
stood up and
I
viciously
think
slashed
nobody
the
else
knife
wants it. And,
through her neck and body.
I don't know if you saw it. Kevin
No one
McCarthy
will
kind
ever
of threw him
forget
under the
for
bus
people
today and
Sure.
said that
on that train.
Gonzalez
No
should
one will ever
resign.
forget
The
the
margin's
expression of
already,
terror
what,
on
218,
Irina's face
215,
as she
Yep.
looked up at her attacker in
214.
the
So
last seconds of her life.
I
She died
thought that was a
instantly.
pretty dick
She
move,
had
a
escaped
typical
from
dick
brutal
move by
violence
Kevin
constrained
McCarthy.
by a hardened criminal
But
set
I don't
free
think
to
anyone else
kill
wants
in
it.
America.
I mean,
Came in through open borders.
Trump has already said, I'm the speaker.
Mrs.
And
Yeah.
they make
Turetsky,
fun of
tonight I
Johnson at the
promise
White
you we
House
will
because
ensure
Johnson's just a
justice
little
for
puppet.
the
So who wants to be
magnificent
Trump's puppet again?
Irina.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I've been watching JD Vance and Mike Johnson in the background of Trump, and I can't decide who looks more constipated.
Mikey definitely looks like he's got constipation. I'm going to go with Mikey.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
How do you not
Well,
Not
he
you,
also
Mike.
he's
How do you not stand?
I think he's probably wearing a
United States
girdle
Congress to
as
pass local
well.
legislation
For some
to
reason.
ensure that violent and dangerous repeat
They're
He
spanked.
offenders
probably
are
has
fully
one of those
Yeah.
identified.
Mormon things that they
importantly,
wear
that
when
they
they
stay
have
there.
sex, you know?
Oh,
It's just wild that a felon is up there talking about putting people behind bars. I
It
can't.
It really is. And talking about violence in the building where, as Mike knows, we all know, but Mike knows firsthand, he sent people to commit violence.
Right.
It's so disgusting. God, it bugs me so much, man. You know, they took the plaque down too, and they hid it somewhere in the Capitol. And there's a law that says they have to display the January 6th plaque, and they're still not doing it. Yeah. Until someone tell John Fetterman, right? Like, these guys are already breaking the law. They're not following court orders. They're breaking the
I
law.
say they should display it up Mike Johnson's ass. That's where they should fucking post that plaque.
I think you could put a piece of coal up Johnson's ass and get a diamond.
100% from a year ago.
Wait, was that a good Ferris Bueller?
It was. Thank
Yeah,
you for
yeah.
getting that, dude.
I missed the Ferris Bueller reference.
You put a piece of coal up his ass.
Yeah.
And
You make
what is it?
diamond.
In
He's
3
so
weeks,
uptight.
you get a diamond.
Be a diamond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yes.
But, God, I love that.
Cameron went on to be the Speaker of the House. I wonder about this though. Look, Republicans are fleeing the House. That retirements, like, you know, there's a non-zero chance that he doesn't retain speakership till the midterms because of retirements. What is this? The optics of all of them standing up. What does that do for us? Joe, you just got here. Is this a supercharging of Trump? Is this you think he's going to have a bump from this, like a typical State of the Union bump? What's happening?
No, I don't think he gets a bump from this. I mean, his base is going to love it, but he's not saying anything.
Right.
And he's not saying anything that translates to people's lives, and he's not saying anything to translates to make people's lives better. I mean, he basically mocked affordability again tonight, and mocked the Democrats for using that terminology. That's exactly front and center for every person in the country, except for the billionaires who are his best buddies. So I don't know, you know, maybe I think it's going to be interesting, Sam. One of the things is how the kind of traditional media covers it, because you could tell today they were all like getting geared up. Oh, this is his moment. Is he going to turn things around? This guy can't turn things around. He's so deep right now. What is he saying tonight that's going to change anyone's mind? I don't see anything.
When I see coverage like that, I want to bust through my television, because it's like, what the fuck reality do you live in, right? Like, it's like, hello, we are in a crisis. Do you not notice the whole house is on fire? What's going on?
All of that savvy political reporting is basically just glorified trolling.
It
And
is.
it's just people talking amongst themselves, smelling their own farts in DC. And nobody outside of there cares about any of that stuff. They care about the fact that their health care went up $800 a month, and everything at the grocery store is more expensive.
That's right.
And they care about the fact that their neighbors are being hauled away by ICE, whether
And I
they're
gotta be
citizens
honest
or
with you.
not.
I think there's a real buyer's. I mean, the buyer's remorse. We knew they were going to have fucking buyer's remorse, the low income swing voters, and of course they do, right? But it's so intense that for me, there's probably going to be a decline in his viewership. I don't think this is going to get top ratings. I think a lot of the middle of America is really turned off by this guy. And if they tuned in at all, if they did, what did he do, Joe? He front-loaded that shit about affordability and the tariff crap. That tariff crap is so deeply unpopular, and he's too dumb and greedy because tariffs make people grovel to him to pivot, right? And it's so satisfying that this is how it's going to end for so many of these down ballot Republicans, that they fucking strap themselves to this maniac, and now they're all going to lose their seats because of it.
Yeah.
You know?
I wonder, you know, independents are jumping ship like crazy. The numbers on independents are catastrophic for Trump. And a speech like this, you know, his impulse or his instinct is that the cure for his problems is more him, right? So let's make this 2 hours or 3 hours. Let's go for 6 hours. Let's do a full filibuster. except that this
Amazing,
isn't,
actually.
this is sort of
It's the
modeled after a
greatest
Trump
woman
rally, but it's not a
most
Trump
positive
rally.
person
Right.
It's a
Right.
boring ass speech about
God's
shit
help,
policy
Andrew
that
has
everyone
come back
hates.
from the edge
And
of
it does
death,
feel
and
like
we're talking about
that
the
will have an
edge
impact.
of
But the
death.
thing that I'm going to look for
On
at
his
the
way
end,
to a
and by the way, audience,
recovery,
everyone
but
out
knew what
there,
to do, and
Joe,
he's doing
Max
great.
Burns,
Nice to
Edwin
see he's a
Eisendrath,
good-looking guy.
we're going to have some
Nice to see.
in commentary
Thanks,
after
Andrew.
this. So stay
Thank
tuned for
you very
that.
much.
But I'm also curious to see tomorrow the clips of mainstream media and their take, because I think we're going to see a lot of, well, he looked presidential again. He wasn't as tired as we thought. He wasn't as trolling as, this attempt to normalize in the mainstream media that is so dumb. It makes me so angry.
I
Like,
mean, it's
me and
not
Rachel are both going to
innocuous
jump through the
either,
tubes.
Sam. It's not just that it bothers you;
highly
it put us in
respected
this
General
situation. Like
James is going to present
they're
Staff
and it's
Sergeant
funny because
the
I
great
was interviewing
family
Don Lemon like
Sarah
a
Beckstrom,
few weeks before
with
his
the award
arrest,
created
and I was
by
like,
our
"Don't
late,
you
great
guys, the
President
journal, like
George
he
Washington
gets it. I'm not.
himself. It's
He's not
called
part of the
The
problem."
Purple Heart.
The other part of the problem, I'm like, don't they realize that they're on the menu? Like the very first people on the damn menu are the journalists, like the Meet the Press lady or whatever her name is, right? Like they're coming for you, like they're coming right for you. You'd think that they would have an incentive to cover, seek the truth, and instead all they want to do is protect their contacts. They want to have the ability to book Republicans on their shows. It's like, they don't understand that actually by having a show like Meet the Press, those politicians are so desperate for platform and for views and for attention that like they don't have to just take people and let them lie on there, and maybe they'll push back one thing, but they'll let him the front half claim where he's got trillions of dollars in investment. They won't never push back fully, right? And it is why, I mean, it is part of why we are here. So it's more than just annoying for you, Sam. It is
security for
a structural deficit that we have.
You're right.
The anchors all had lunch with him today.
Right.
Jake Tapper and the rest of them. Do you think any of them pushed him? Do you think any of them asked where the Epstein files were?
Right.
I'm sure none of them did. That's not the way the game is played. They value access for the sake of access.
Yes.
And
Look at the way that Trump has treated female reporters, telling them quiet piggy, telling Caitlin Collins of CNN to smile. Did you hear any of their colleagues stand up for them? No, because they don't want to lose their access.
Yep. It's access. It's always about that. They sold us down the river, and it's like, they had it's not like they were average people. These are people whose decision to do that played an active part in putting us in this situation. And it just
and listen, like as somebody who previously worked at fucking CNN, not even Caitlin Collins stands up for Caitlin Collins.
Right.
There.
I know.
And it's like, listen, okay, if you're more interested, Caitlin, in remaining, close to your sources within the administration, whoever the hell they are, Jared Kushner, okay, fine. But what you're doing is you're making it more difficult for every other female reporter that Donald Trump berates and degrades, because you're not willing to stand up for yourself. And none of your colleagues are willing to stand up for you. And that's my biggest argument with, I'm not even going to call them colleagues or colleagues at CNN, because I think they're all elitist.
And he said it's an honor
shit.
that they feel that.
But, like,
you have done a great job.
when I was there, people used to tell me that guys like Don Lemon and Jim Acosta were the reason that we had Donald Trump to begin with. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Caitlin Collins, Jake Tapper, Anderson Cooper, all of these people that refuse to call this moment what it is and call that moment what it was are the reason that we had Donald Trump 1.0 and the reason that we now have Donald Trump 2.0.
Yeah, and Don and Jim are basically the only two CNN people that's tried to speak truth ever.
100%. And the only people that remain
those parents.
with any degree of integrity. or
Me too, in my opinion too.
or
Yeah.
honor.
Especially you, Jake Tapper, if you're fucking listening out there, you asshole.
Amazing
So I tangle with him all the time, and I don't know why he hasn't blocked me because I keep texting him crazy shit about
Because he's so desperate for attention,
Yeah,
Michael, that when you engage with him, he's probably jacking off in bed.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Yes, this just got real, everyone.
Make sure this is
Jake brings it on for fun. Hey,
clip this soundbite.
fun. You said fun.
We'll do the
All right,
remix.
I'm taking a bathroom break. I'll be back.
You're gonna take a bathroom break? All right, I'll pull you out. Hey, you know, he just had Marco in, little Marco, and you know, they're talking about Iran these days, and there's a massive buildup, 2 carrier groups in the Gulf there, and you know, as Bobby Jones, who is the host of our show Anchor Watch, always says, you don't put that kind of ordinance in place unless you're going to use it. As Rick Wilson said earlier tonight, they've got because they got there so quickly, there's only 4 days of fuel available, so it could be a really messy thing. However, you know, even on NPR today, they were like, okay, Trump has sent his foreign ambassadors. Do you know who they were? Who's negotiating?
Witkoff and Jared.
Witkoff and Jared.
And Jared just got a standing ovation there.
Thousands soldiers are dying.
What are we doing?
A month.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Which would have never happened.
You
if I
know,
were president.
yesterday I think it was yesterday. There was an article in the Post that the chairman of the Joint Chiefs was wary of what's going on. I'm like, dude, you should have thought about that 2 months ago before you held the whole buildup, because exactly what you said. Once you put the everything there, you're going to use it. And what's been maddening is reading the articles. He doesn't know why he wants to start a war with Iran. He's walking around the White House asking people what they think. Any person who wanders into the White House, he asks them. That's how the president of the United States is deciding to send men and women to war. I mean, that's insane.
Look, and I think NPR is doing great reporting. They've always done great reporting. I'm you know, I started my career at Minnesota Public Radio, and but they, you know, what was they said? What is he trying to achieve? And they said, well, you know, it's a little unclear exactly. Like, that's the story. That is actually the story here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to war, and we don't know why. I mean, at least Bush was willing to lie to us and give us some rationale and speak to the nation.
It's amazing. George W. Bush makes Donald Trump seem like a slacker.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean, to your point, Sam, last summer we did bomb Iran, and Donald Trump told us and told the world that he eradicated their nuclear program. So what would be the rationale to go to war now?
I mean, and so he's done a little bit of that. He said, look, there's we need to make sure that we get rid of their nuclear arsenal, which we've already gotten rid of, but we need to get rid of it again, apparently. There's the protesters, there is this, there's that, there's the other. It really is, it comes down to, Michael, I keep covering you with banners. It does come down to him just wanting to bomb somebody. That's it. That's what it comes down to. I want to bring in Edwin Eisendrath, everyone, host of It's Democracy Stupid. Edwin, how are you? Welcome.
I'm so much happier to be with you guys than listening to any more of this.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your initial thoughts so far?
I mean, wow. I mean, I guess it is everything I could have hoped for, you know, because it's not just Donald Trump who's completely insane. It's his entire party, and they have doubled down on everything from wanting to steal the next election with the SAVE Act to completely making sure that they do nothing to reach out to anybody who isn't in their MAGA crowd.
One thing is
I
certain,
mean,
I will never allow the
it's a
world's
disgraceful
number one
performance,
weapon of
and
terror
I'm
is
just
the
sorry.
AI.
I'm sorry not everybody in the
It's a
country
nuclear
is
weapon.
seeing it.
Can't let that happen.
Yeah. Rachel, are you ready again? Yeah. Okay, I can see you in the green room. Everyone, this is quite a batch of people here. I'm so glad to have all of you. Joe Subay, Michael Fanone, Edwin Eisendrath, Rachel Bitecofer. We kept thinking, like, how do we make this a little bit fun? Right, and this is the crew.
And this was a selfish endeavor for Sam and I, because we're like, okay,
Yes.
we have to cover the State of the Union. How do we get through this? And you are our answer.
It's really cold.
Yeah,
I'm honored
that
to
was
be
it.
here.
So thank you guys for joining.
I have to watch it. I mean, we all have to watch it. Right? We have to watch it for work. We have to watch it. I would be watching this right now and just tweeting and hating it. So this has made it better. So it's helped us as well.
Thanks to Republican.
I didn't have to watch it.
That record number of dollars.
Well, I mean, really, you don't. I mean, you know, it's just going to be bullshit. But as you were pointing out, when you said the last thing you said was, I wish all of America could see this. That's unfortunately so many of Americans that voted for this man, like the swing voters, they've never seen him in a rally speech. They've never seen how he behaves. And one thing that he did on Friday strategically that was really dumb was they cut in a press conference from the White House on the tariff decision, and it cut through broadcast networks, not the Olympics, but the rest of it did. And it was a shit show for at least 20 minutes for the people that were at home. Those are people that normally see zero news or information about him. So,
well, and Friday was a really bad day for Trump, because you had the SCOTUS decision, and all the networks except for Fox went live, and then Fox kind of dribbled in a half hour later with like a blip. It was like, oh, by the way, the Supreme Court ruled against Trump. Now back to, you know, some daytime programming. Ignore all this. But then Trump said, hey, I would like to make a really big deal of this.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, huge deal. What the stupidest thing? I mean, it polls at like, and this at the natural state, it's about 50% of people blame Trump for high prices. And if we wedge that and make it clear to people the high prices are from his tariffs, we can improve it. But it's the worst issue for him. And to have chosen to break into primetime, like, or into daytime TV, such a strategic mistake. I want to point out Nancy Pelosi is wearing a sticker on her lapel that says "Release the Epstein files." They were just focused on that.
I wish they brought some paper to rip up.
Yeah.
That was wonderful. That was a real highlight.
He doesn't get around people. He doesn't seem to do meetings like that anymore. You never see public meetings with people like on the other side anymore, because he knows he's only surrounded by sycophants now. You just cannot have those kind of moments anymore. This is as close as it gets tonight when he's here doing this. And it's bad. The guys, this thing just going and going and going. And Jesus Christ.
I mean,
Yeah.
I heard more live in the first hour and a half that I paid attention to this.
Yeah.
I mean, just stunning amounts of fantasy world we live in.
Yeah.
Absolute fantasy. I mean,
I will say we have around 800 folks watching on social media across our platforms, and we have around 3,000 watching on Substack.
Hey.
You guys are the best audience in the business, and you know I read all of your chats to the detriment of my ability to listen to our panelists. But I would love to hear more. What do you think he's going to end on? Chat, just put it in there. What's the big finish for him?
I'd like.
And I don't like to say big finish and Trump in the same sentence.
And I just want you guys to know, I love chat too, but you have to have your YouTube account linked, and so I can't use it.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. I didn't prepare for. So.
And I just want to say to all of you, if this is your first time tuning in to what we do here at Lincoln Square, please think about subscribing. You can subscribe for free. We'd love to have you. We have assembled a great panel here for you as part of our pro-democracy independent media outlet, and that's what we're all about.
Their fishing industry also. Nobody wants to go fishing.
And it's just so important if you support independent media. Just,
Yes.
you know, right now, like if you want information that pursues the truth and not both sides bullshit, like, you know, people have to support it. So support this project, Lincoln Square. I know you guys, Sam tweeted earlier about a project you're doing with some ads that are going to go out to the battlegrounds. And maybe it would be good to tell the audience about that.
Yeah, Susan, set that up.
Yeah. And again, I want to give a shout out to our head of growth, Velda Garcia. She's been doing these fact checks for us, and she is the one who really has made it her mission this year to get the message out to voters in swing states, in swing districts across the country, which are not just in blue states. I mean, we're seeing seats flip in the deep South. And part of our mission here at Lincoln Square is that we want to get pro-democracy messaging out to people. We want to burst the bubbles that people live in right now. And so really appreciate if you want to help us with that campaign. I will put some information in the write-up for this show. But we have had just a tremendous impact on social media and beyond with getting through to voters, just reaching at this point just tens upon tens of millions of people. And we're just dedicated to doing it this year because, I mean, how much more of this guy can any of us take?
Colossal victory.
That's right.
The security of the United States, and it also opens up a bright new beginning for the people.
Well, while you were talking, he actually laughed that nobody wants to go fishing in the Caribbean anymore. He thought that was funny.
He thought that was
After
funny.
killing so many people.
It's just, oh my God.
It's tasteless, and it's also his, you know, it's one of his big hits, right? It's the big hit with the crowd, with his MAGA crowd, and it's a laugh line that he gets at his, you know, rallies and speeches and all of this. But like, I think there's a bigger truth here in that I know I have friends in Minneapolis who covered the occupation there, who were paying the rent of neighbors who couldn't go to work because they couldn't leave their house. And so there's fishermen in Venezuela who can't work because they're afraid of getting bombed out of the water. And there are American citizens. There are American people who are afraid to leave their homes for fear of getting kidnapped by fucking ICE. This is the America that he's presenting here. And all of this is just this boring, sort of prattling speech about the greatness that he's, but I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that anyone who actually listens to this, he's immediately right through it. But then I see these applause, and he's all about visuals, right?
Sam, you're 100% right. I think that he could have summed this whole speech up in, you know, one sentence, which is, "Hey, America, cruelty is the point."
Yep.
Yes.
This speech could have been an email.
Every policy, every action that this administration takes, cruelty is the point in the purpose and the desired effect that we're looking
Have a
for.
good time.
I think that's true as to his character, but he also doubled down on trying to steal the next election by demanding to pass the FAIR Act, you know, the Save America Act, and a bunch of other things. I mean, he's a true danger.
Yes, and you're 100% right. I don't, you know, like the SAVE Act is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
You know, it's the surrounding of polling places with ICE agents. It's, you know, it's the executing a search warrant based on lies to take away ballots from a Georgia fucking polling station to try to regurgitate or bring back up this false narrative that the 2020 election was stolen. It's contemplating seizing polling machines using the United States military. It's all of the above. Donald Trump.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, I give him credit for some good staging. Having the hockey team come in. I mean, there's a moment here where sports can still unite us all for about a half a second. Having them come in, but then they left. They didn't stay here to listen to the speech. They know better. But other than that, man, I think this just confirms what
one bullet.
I was only a little bit worried, and really I wasn't, because I knew he didn't have it in him. But he would do something tonight to change the narrative, to make himself popular again, to try and atone for some of the terrible things he's done. But he's doubled down on every bad thing that everybody hates. And his whole party is cheering for it.
Yeah.
So, when the time comes, we can sweep them all out.
Yep.
They have no place to
By the way, on that note, I just, this is a particular audience that's really important to kind of mention that we just had this special election in Texas, that state Senate district. And as people probably know, it was a very safe Trump district that flipped to a Democratic state senator. But what people may not know is that they did that even with a majority Republican electorate. And that is something that has never happened in all of Trump era. The last time was Todd Aiken in 2012, really, that we've seen Republicans use electoral accountability. So, that it really shows that it is, never Trump. I know you've got some MAGA trolls on here, people who are trolling you guys as well. I'm just here to tell you, regular conservatives are starting to feel a little grossed out about a big government fucking show me your papers. I don't need a warrant. I'm going to shoot you in the face shit. And you better enjoy this last couple of months, because you're going to be very unpopular in 2026 in the fall.
Searing pain. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what kind of bump, he hasn't gotten bumps from his attacks, his wars. None of it makes any logical or rational sense. It's not connected to any sort of reasoning. Like we talked about George W. Bush earlier, saying at least there's yellow cake, there's the centrifuges and the tubes, and he tried to connect the dots. Trump is not trying to connect any dots with anything. He's just saying things that are not connected.
Well, I mean,
go ahead,
Sam,
Mike.
You and I have talked about this countless times. I don't think that any of that was the purpose for Trump 2.0. The purpose for Trump 2.0 was, first and foremost to avail or to avoid any type of accountability for Trump 1.0 and all the crimes that he committed as president his first go round. And then the second aspect of that was the grift. To make money. And then the third was, when Donald Trump, when I heard Donald Trump talk about, I will be your retribution, I didn't listen to that as, or I didn't hear it as just retribution, towards my political enemies, being the Democrats or people that opposed my reelection. I think Donald Trump is like America's angry ex. He knows that he lost the 2020 election, and he wants to punish everyone. He wants to punish America, not just Democrats, but Republicans, MAGA, everyone that didn't do enough to get him elected and have him lose to sleepy Joe Biden. And I think that he's also, I think he's aware of the fact that, he's on the way out of this
life.
And so he's just like, well, I'm going to burn the whole fucking thing down and fuck everyone. And I will enrich myself and at least enjoy freedom and no accountability whatsoever for what really has been a lifetime, not just presidencies, but a lifetime of crimes against humanity.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, he said tonight, I want to put criminals in jail and keep them there. And I mean, Michael, what's the pardon power? He doesn't want to keep, he doesn't want to keep his criminals in jail.
Yeah.
And it's, again, like I think that I the last time I heard that a poll was taken, like 80% of Americans opposed those presidential pardons, at least in, for the violent criminals who assaulted law enforcement officers. But it still doesn't prevent a lot of them supporting this president and supporting his candidacy. And it certainly doesn't prevent that like hardcore MAGA base from distancing themselves from Donald Trump. And
they're out there, but the enthusiasm isn't with them anymore.
No.
Right? I mean, we're like everybody. Every sane person in America is desperate to go vote.
Yes.
Desperate to go vote. They want to send this message. I mean, Rachel's already talked about that election in Texas. During the occupation of Minneapolis, they had an election, and a Democrat was going to win the election, but the Democrat won with 95%. We are determined to show up and send this man packing.
It's going to be hard for him because, like, his plan, Michael, I'm going to tell you, I think his plan is to never leave office. I think that we have to assume that's his plan because it was his plan the first time, and he came so close to executing it. Those things he purged. That's gone. There's no DOJ that's going to say no. There's no FBI to rein him in. There's no federal enforcement involved as pertains to MAGA. But what would keep him from succeeding in that, and whatever version of this he does, and it most likely will be claiming fraud. I mean, that's one thing about not having a national voter ID is that it allows them to convince others that illegals are voting much easier. Not that I support the SAVE Act. I'm talking about a clean national voter ID or something like that, not anything in the SAVE Act. But I think people should know, like, it's going to be a messy couple of years, and I think he's going to really start to melt down as the summer comes and these polls come in, and the White House and the midterm is looking like a bloodbath. He's going to become very erratic. So I think we've probably seen the become.
He's already there.
At his most famous. Yes, but it's going to be hard for him to do it if he's unpopular. So, luckily for us, like the Germans, the Nazis understood that shit. They're like, okay, we want to seize power, and the most important thing to do is water public opinion, make sure people are happy with us economically. Okay, and Hitler, our dumb Hitler, is too dumb to understand that. Like, he didn't even have to touch the economy. All he had to do was not even touch it. He could have been like, look, I lowered inflation, and shit would have been so much better. Whatever it is now, we know it would be better without all this tariff shit, right? Yep. So, like, yeah.
And I will say, the one thing about voters understand the assignment. One thing about the elections in November, the turnout in Virginia, in New Jersey for those governor's races, turnout was higher than it was in 2018, which was the blue wave year.
Yep.
Like, I think voters understand the assignment. I mentioned the races in Pennsylvania. We've talked about Minneapolis. We've talked about, Texas, special elections in Georgia. I talked to a lot of these candidates who actually end up winning. Iowa has had massive overperformance, 26 points overperformance in Iowa special elections.
Yep.
So, I think voters understand.
And nominations matter, guys. I mean, if it didn't, then why did Carrie Lake get her ass whopped? Why did Dr. Oz and whatever the dude the football player in Georgia, these people who could barely articulate a sentence or was crazy, like so crazy they should be in a loony bin. Like, we need to put forth the most attractive nominees. And I get that other people care, like, oh, what's this person's platform? Like, the reality is that a candidate's going to be able to, because of the system that we have, maybe 2 or 3 things to you in a platform. What matters to me right now is optimizing winning. Can we win? I want Maine. I want Texas. I want Iowa. I want Alaska. Right? Like, I want to win shit, right?
Again, it's like somebody who's not intertwined with the Democratic Party. Like, I completely agree with you. Winning is incredibly important to preserve our democracy. But I also recognize the need for candidates who, in addition to seeing the important issues for their constituency, whether it's, you know, like the fucking bread and butter issues of affordability, despite what Donald Trump says about affordability, that it's a leftist myth, but issues like that, but also preserving democracy and holding people accountable. Those are important issues.
They are, and you know what? Really good
We
news.
need candidates that are going to, one, fight for those things, but number two, educate their constituents as to why those are important in this moment. Because we can't just have people that are like, oh, get me elected, we'll change the script, we'll get rid of Donald Trump, and we'll move on as a country. Like, that's the same shit that we did during Reconstruction, and it resulted in Jim Crow.
Yeah.
It resulted in the same battles that we're fighting today. We need to put a stop to this now.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm working on a book that you'll love this book. I'll send it to you because that's what it talks about. Our failure to fucking put the stake through the vampire's heart because Lincoln got assassinated and we end up with Johnson taking over the close of the War of Reconstruction. Because of that shit, it is zombied and it's back. Like, this thing that we're fighting now is not. It's not distinct from what has happened before. It is a part of it. It is one book. And that was a Civil War chapter. And now we're going to have to fucking wage this thing in some capacity. We are right now again. And if we fucking manage to win twice, this time we got to do shit right, because it's amazing to me that we've left ourselves so vulnerable. I mean, the people they passed the the ban for people who betray their oath. Every one of those people betrayed their federal oaths, and yet we couldn't somehow have that ban count because Congress never passed a law too. Like, it's crazy, right? Yeah.
I want to kind of go back to a theme that we've talked about tonight, which is this is super boring, right? The speech is like, it's like kryptonite, right?
I would fall asleep in there.
Joe Sudbe, Joe, by the way, Joe hosts the Progress, Sirius XM Progress show, State of the States. If you're not watching or listening to it, you really ought to. Joe, in the beginning, I was like, he's not, this isn't a rally. It's a half between, it's half in, half out. Maybe that's the point. Maybe he doesn't want his followers to watch this.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I've been noticing is he's done a lot of theatrics. He's done a lot of military medal handing out, right? Like to add some theater and drama to it. It's weird. It's and it's also a distraction from having to talk about the issues that no one wants to hear him talk about, and trying. I think he's trying to get some of their bravery attached to him. This is a guy who John Kelly has said service members who died were suckers and losers, and a guy who himself didn't serve. He took up 5 deferments for bone spurs, and so he's here honoring military people who've done heroic things, even as he's setting up a war to send more service members to very dangerous situations without any rationale for doing it, like we were talking about earlier. So I just kind of feel like he wants to put on a show. Like, he thinks of this as a TV show, and he's looking for little things like bringing the hockey players in, and
he's good at it.
Handing out some medals. That's all he cares about.
That's what he's good at. Governing, not so much.
Go ahead, Edwin. What were you going to say?
Edwin, what were you going to say?
Edwin, what were you saying?
The show part is what he's good at, and he is good at it. But he's not good at governing. He has no heart. He's cruel as all get out. He's a grifter and a pig, and that comes through. So he can do the show part. But America's seen the show.
Yeah.
We've seen the show, and we've seen the rerun of the show. I mean, like, I love Lucy, but okay, you know what? It's like it had its time.
It's so true, dude. It's like a rerun that won't go away,
We are 2-hour mark.
Yeah, we're coming up. It's almost 11 o'clock. He's been going on for about 2 hours. He does not seem like he is winding down. Did anybody place a bet on the time of this speech?
Oh, looks like he's just finished.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
I'm wrong. I'm going to take credit
Oh,
for this.
man.
Look at people rush for the exit.
It's
Get out
like
of here.
climactic.
Oh, get me out of
It's
this
like in a
fucking
basketball
place.
game when somebody
Oh,
says, "Well, he's never
Steve.
missed a free throw."
Yeah.
It's been
And you-
2.5
I mean, usually
hours.
they hang around, they
Right,
want to see the guy, they cannot get out fast enough. Did anybody besides me? I had this thought when he said JD Vance, we're going to take fraud out of the Justice Department, and JD Vance is going to be in charge of fighting fraud. And I thought, you know what? JD Vance is going to discover that Donald Trump has got all that fraud and get rid of him so he can have the job. I mean, they're all snakes.
Yeah. So we are going to have a nice little wrap up. We're going to stay tuned for the rebuttal. Everyone, I know you're hanging on the edge of your seat to watch more speech. But as we watch this turkey leave, I want to get some thoughts. Susan, what's your thought? What's the big overarching thought for you from this?
Yeah, this was such a meandering speech. I mean, it was low energy. You really could not see a pattern, a through line here. It was just, here's some hockey players, and here's some guy who, I'm giving a medal to because of what he did in the Caribbean, and I'm giving tax breaks for data centers, and trans people are awful, and it was just like a greatest hits of his worst moments. Yeah. And the Trump today, this isn't even the guy who was on a campaign trail in 2024. No. I mean, I just don't feel like he is selling it anymore.
Yeah. Michael?
Yeah, I concur. I would add, here's my lovely wife who I've cheated on countless fucking times, including with underage children, but whatever. And I don't give a shit. Fuck this country. I'm just trying to grift. I wonder how much crypto my account went up during this speech. And is it time for bed yet? Like
he didn't even talk about crypto, did he?
Nope.
No, I don't.
And they're pissed at him right now, dude. Big time.
Yeah.
But it was like everything is, there's my buddy Troy Nels. Yeah, everything is like, this is going to happen in the future. This is going to happen in the future. These are things that are happening right now, but they're really not. And everybody knows it because we're all like living in it and experiencing it. And even MAGA Republicans are like, what the fuck are you talking about? $1.70 gas prices. No, they're not. They're $2.99.
Well, I said the same thing. If you find $1.70 gas, you go vote for him, and everybody else will vote.
I don't know. There's probably some shit city in Arkansas, dude.
It's so good for us, right? Because the country's not going to let him make Charlie Kirk a martyr and ignore Renee Good.
Right.
That's just not going to happen. And so this was the MAGA hit list. And what was good for us about it is that the Republicans have no place to hide. They stood, they cheered, they said, you know what, we are all in. So they made this, they made their bed so fully that they're going to get all washed out with them. There's no Susan Collins has space to be concerned. And this is not anybody's like, even a remotely tough race. They are completely tied to his backside.
Yeah, and they deserve it because they are fucking fascist enablers who chose personal power.
Rachel, I
over
concur 100%, but that's good for us because America is not going down that road. We've seen it. We don't like it.
No doubt.
And this, of course,
it took this too. Unfortunately, I was trying to work on getting America to preemptively panic was really my focus of work from 21 till 24, right? And it was always with a recognition that that's extraordinarily unlikely to be able to be done. And so the unfortunate thing is that we've had to go through this again. But on the plus side, this thing may be so catastrophic that we get a reset in American politics, that we get past this terrible thing that we've been mired in for 20 years. And you have to have hope. I mean, it's easy to get bogged down. I told you guys, I don't think the man will leave office peacefully, but we are going to vote, and we are going to show up in big fucking numbers, and we're going to get Republicans who believe in small government to vote for us. And we can do it because we know we did it once already. And Susan Collins, girl, you in trouble. You better be grasping those pearls, because they're coming for your ass. All the ads have been very clear. They're coming for her moderate brand. That's how you flip Texas. That's how you flip Maine. Go after these motherfuckers. They're not moderates. They're fascist enablers. They have terrible records, and all of them could be used to destroy them.
Can I just say, as a Mainer, I there's nothing that's more important to me than her losing and everything you said about her. and I do want to say, there was one point where he talked about dignity and pride, and I thought it's really rich that this son of a bitch is talking about dignity on the day that NPR was reporting that that DOJ actually was hiding files that implicated Trump, allegations that he was involved in sexual abuse of a minor. How dare you talk about dignity to the American people? And I do think that story is the Epstein files are the backdrop to everything about Donald Trump and Republicans right now. And I think the Representative Gonzalez story adds to it as well, because they are protecting another sexual abuser.
And I was telling the panel before you came on, Joe, like, hey, this story broke today. And it is bad. Like, Garcia went and searched for these victims, and their testimonies wiped out, right? So, like, he had to have known this coming into the speech tonight. Like, when you watch him in the next couple of days, this is a man, like, his worst case scenario is coming true this week, right? And we need to put the pressure on him big time.
And shout out to Garcia. I think he's done a great job.
Me too, dude. That was I was like, oh, if I had access to that.
Garcia, Rokana.
Yep.
There's so many, and you know what? The House Democrats, they've done a great job not letting these motherfuckers, do their stupid shit.
Yep. Massey as well. I mean, I give tremendous amount of credit to those guys, because, like, as somebody who's well versed in speaking out against this administration, I know what the costs that are assumed with that role, and I talked to I talked to Jamie Raskin. I was on the plane with him flying back from San Francisco this weekend. I know the toll that it has taken on him and his family just for assuming that role, and the guy does it with a fucking smile and the level of enthusiasm that like, I can do it with enthusiasm, but there ain't no motherfucking smile on my face when I'm dealing with Trump and his sycophants.
I will say this, like, the Democratic, like, establishment, like, horse for 28, I think is pretty clearly Andy Beshear, the governor of Kentucky. Now, they think he's electable. I think no one knows him in America, and primaries are very name ID focused. That said, even if we get him, like, he's a Kentucky red state winning guy who's very religious. Michael, I watched him do an interview today, and he was slinging it. He was not, although he's a moderate in ideology, his temperament, like, even the moderate guy the whole party wants to, like, nominate because he's the most electable, is out there, like, bringing the hammer to Trump and to the Republicans. Like, I feel like we're in a better shape than we've ever been in terms of message and the candidates that we're going to have, either candidates, that win these primaries. Like, the most important thing that you can bring to an election right now is to not be an appeaser. We don't need any more Chamberlains. We need a Churchill. The electorate wants Churchills.
I'm just here to make sure that whatever candidate is put forward, that part of the Democratic platform in 2026 and 2028 is accountability.
Yes.
That's the only issue that I care about. Yep. You can fucking shame me all you want for
we
being.
We should have done that shit to George fucking W. Bush. If we had done that shit to George W. Bush, then none of this shit would have happened because people would have been afraid to fuck around, right? And by letting them fuck around and being like, oh, we're just going to move into our happy thing and not look back. Oh, here's Abby.
This is my cue for my favorite line, right? That when we win, we turn Mar-a-Lago into the Smithsonian Museum of American Fascism.
The United States was founded on the idea that ordinary people could reject the unacceptable excesses of poor leadership, band together to demand better of their government, and create a nation that would be an example.
As this goes, I'm going to bring in Joan Esposito. Hey, Joan.
Hey, Sam.
Welcome.
And this year,
thank you.
As we celebrate 250 years since
Hey,
America
everybody.
declared our independence from tyranny, I can think of no better place to speak to you as we reflect on the current state of our union. Tonight, as we watched our nation's lawmakers gather for a joint session of Congress, we did not hear the truth from our president. So let's speak plainly and honestly. And let me ask you, the American people watching at home, 3 questions. Is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? Is the president working to keep Americans safe both at home and abroad? Is the president working for you? As I campaigned for governor last year, I traveled to every corner of Virginia, and I heard the same pressing concern everywhere. Costs are too high in housing, healthcare, energy, and childcare. And I know these same conversations are being had all across this country. Because since this president took office last year, his reckless trade policies have forced American families to pay more than $1,700 each in tariff costs. Small businesses have suffered, farmers have suffered, some losing entire markets. Everyday Americans are paying the price. And even though the Supreme Court struck these tariffs down 4 days ago, the damage to us, the American people, has already been done. Meanwhile, the president is planning for new tariffs, another massive tax hike on you and your family. And Republicans in Congress, they remain unwilling to assert their constitutional authority to stop him. They're making your life harder. They're making your life more expensive. They're even making it more difficult to see a doctor. Rural health clinics in Virginia and across the country are already closing their doors thanks to the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, championed by the president and Republicans in Congress. And tonight, the president celebrated this law, the one threatening rural hospitals, stripping health care for millions of Americans and driving up costs in energy and housing, all while cutting food programs for hungry kids.
Versus what we saw for
But
2
here
hours.
in Virginia, I am
No
working
doubt.
with the state
It's
legislature
substantive.
to lower costs and make the Commonwealth more affordable. And it's not just me. Democrats across the country are laser focused on affordability in our nation's capital and in state capitals and communities across America. In the most innovative and exceptional nation in the history of the world, Americans deserve to know that their leaders are focused on addressing the problems that keep them up at night. Problems that dictate where you live, whether you can afford to start a business, or whether you have to skip a prescription in order to buy groceries. So I'll ask again, is the president working to make life more affordable for you and your family? We all know the answer is no. I grew up in a house of service. My mother was a nurse and my father was a career law enforcement officer.
Everyone, Max Burns,
I began my career
Democratic
by
strategist.
following in
Welcome,
my
Max.
father's footsteps.
Howdy.
As a federal agent,
Hi,
working
Max.
money laundering and narcotics cases. I work side by side with local and state police to keep our community safe and to uphold and enforce the law. Law enforcement officers across the country know that it is a unique responsibility to do the serious work of investigating crimes, comforting victims, and making arrests. It's about building trust, and that requires an abiding sense of duty and commitment to community. And yet, our president has sent poorly trained federal agents into our cities, where they have arrested and detained American citizens and people who aspire to be Americans. And they have done it without a warrant. They have ripped nursing mothers away from their babies. They have sent children, a little boy in a blue bunny hat, children to far off detention centers. And they have killed American citizens in our streets. And they have done it all with their faces masked from accountability. Every minute spent sowing fear is a minute not spent investigating murders, crimes against children, or the criminals defrauding seniors of their life savings. Our president told us tonight that we are safer because these agents arrest mothers and detain children. Think about that. Our broken immigration system is something to be fixed, not an excuse for unaccountable agents to terrorize our communities.
Pretty good from her. Wow. Very good.
After
really
working
I mean, she's
in
no
law
Katie
enforcement, I
Britt.
continued my
That was
career.
With her
Marco
awkward
had to
water.
stop in the middle and
The
get his
United
water.
States and
Remember,
our
that's pretty
allies
famous.
from global threats, terrorism, nuclear weapons, and the aggression of adversarial nations around the globe. But as the president spoke of his perceived successes tonight, he continues to cede economic power and technological strength to Russia, bow down to China, bow down to a Russian dictator, and make plans for war with Iran. Here's the truth. Over the last year, through Doge, mass firings, and the appointment of deeply unserious people to our nation's most serious positions, our president has endangered the long and storied history of the United States of America being a force for good. So I'll ask again, is the president working to keep Americans safe, both at home and abroad? We all know the answer is no. In his speech tonight, the president did what he always does. He lied, he scapegoated, and he distracted. And he offered no real solutions to our nation's pressing challenges, so many of which he is actively making worse. He tries to divide us. He tries to enrage us, to pit us against one another, neighbor against neighbor. And sometimes he succeeds. And so you have to ask, who benefits from his rhetoric, his policies, his actions, the short list of laws he's pushed through this Republican Congress? Somebody must be benefiting. He's enriching himself, his family, his friends. The scale of the corruption is unprecedented. There's the cover-up of the Epstein files, the crypto scams, cozying up to foreign princes for airplanes and billionaires for ballrooms, putting his name and face on buildings all over our nation's capital. This is not what our founders envisioned, not by a long shot. So I'll ask again, is the president working for you? We all know the answer is no. But here's the special thing about America. On our 250th anniversary, we know better than any nation what is possible when ordinary citizens, like those who once dreamed right here in this room, reject the unacceptable and demand more of their government. We see it in the determination of students organizing school walkouts all across the country, whose voices are becoming so powerful that the governor of Texas seeks to silence them. We see it in the bravery of Americans in Minnesota standing up for their communities, from peacefully protesting in sub-zero temperatures to carpooling children to school so that their immigrant parents are not ripped away from them in the parking lot. As a mother of 3 school-age daughters, I am inspired by their bravery, but I am sickened that it is necessary. And Americans across the country are taking action. They are going to the ballot box to reject this chaos. With their votes, they are writing a new story, a more hopeful story. In November, I won my election by 15 points. And we won 13 new seats in our state legislature. because voters decided they wanted something different. Our campaign earned votes from Democrats, Republicans, independents, and everyone in between, because they knew as citizens they could demand more, that they could vote for what they believe matters, and that they didn't need to be constrained by a party or political affiliation. This is happening across the country. New Jersey elected Mikey Sherrill as governor in a double-digit victory. Democrats flipped state legislative seats in places like Georgia, Iowa, Mississippi, and Texas. The list goes on and on. Ordinary Americans are stepping up to run in the spirit of our forefathers. They are running to demand more and to do more for their neighbors and communities. I know the story well. I first ran for office in 2018 alongside dozens of other Democrats who did the seemingly impossible, flipping 41 seats in Congress.
Which I
in my case, I was the first Democrat elected in 50 years.
Her race, I had a whole Washington Post
17
article about
points.
her race flipping.
Those who are stepping up now to run will win in November, because Americans, you at home, know you can demand more, and that we are working to lower costs. We are working to keep our communities and our country safe, and we are working for you. In his farewell address, George Washington warned us about the possibility of, quote, cunning, ambitious, and unprincipled men rising to power. But he also encouraged us, all Americans, to unite in a common cause, to move this nation forward. That is our charge once more, and that is what we are seeing across the country. It is deeply American and patriotic to do so, and it is how we ensure that the state of our union remains strong, not just this year, but for the next 250 years as well, because we, the people, have the power to make change, the power to stand up for what is right, the power to demand more of our nation. May God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia, and may God bless the United States of America.
Damn, woman! Damn, she's going to be in the presidential talk off of that speech. That was incredibly well delivered. Yeah. She's a very talented person. That's why the Virginia Dems got rid of the primary and nominated her in a nominating convention so that we could put forth the very best candidate and win by 15 points. And look, when a plan comes together.
I also love the idea that she named how many points she won by, and for everyone in the audience, there's a whole bunch of faces here, and I love it so deeply. But let's go through. We have Dr. Rachel Bitecofer, Edwin Eisendrath, the host of It's Democracy Stupid, Michael Fanone, who needs no introduction. We have Joe Sudbe of SiriusXM Progress, Maya May, the host of Protect and Serve with Michael Fanone, who also needs no introduction. We have Max Burns, the political strategist and founder of Third Degree Strategies, and the incredible Joan Esposito. Joan, you snuck in at the very end. I want to sort of hand the reins over to Max. Susan and a few of us have been doing this for a long time already. But I'd love to get some initial thoughts from you, Joan, of the whole night.
When I was watching Trump, now we all saw the lies. We all saw the usual patter. But I was a little concerned when he started introducing people and telling their stories, because I know from my radio show that is a really effective emotional way to get a message across. And I thought, oh, I don't know, he may, get some people in his corner. But then he did it again and again and again and again. And it became less about these stories and more about using them as political props. And then it turned into a game show. Come on down, come on out. I kept waiting for him to say, you get a car and you get a car. He started to worry me because I thought maybe he was actually going to be effective. and then he just completely blew it out of the water. So I guess good news for us.
Yeah, Max, you just joined as well. Look, somehow we managed to fill the space. I think it's because we were all drinking and I won't say who, but possibly smoking pot. But in any case, and I think we all know who that was.
Hey, in my defense, I do that for a reason. And like this last week on Twitter, it was the alcohol lobby putting out a bunch of content about how pot is terrible for it, right? And the reason I'm so public about it is I want to kind of push back on the myths about pot. It is not a big deal.
Well, Rachel, we will have you back on and talk about pot. I will.
We need a 420 themed show or a pot.
Yeah, April. Hit April. Max, what are your initial thoughts? And Max, I'd love to slowly start pulling a couple of us out to give much needed breaks. In fact, Rachel, I'll pull you out first. I appreciate you and thank you for
I got a little one I have to go attend.
Yes, to. and Rachel, I would love to have you back in the coming weeks to talk polling.
Let's do it,
on
dude.
The Everyone, thank you. And
so
where can they find you?
Thanks for making such a terrible night so pleasurable for me. And the way that you started this off at that interview, so powerful. I hope I can tweet that out tomorrow. I'll try to find it.
Thank you.
Amp it for you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Rachel. Michael, are you ready to dip out? Or you want
ready to hop.
go a little longer?
I'm good, man.
Oh,
Okay.
Excellent. All right. Susan?
I think I'm going to leave it to the professionals.
Okay.
I've enjoyed my time here. I think I'm on day, maybe hour 15 of my work day. So I really can't thank all of you enough for making a terrible night so much better, sharing your insights with all of us here at Lincoln Square. Thank you. It's been a pleasure and looking forward to talking with all of you again very soon.
Yeah.
Good night, Susan. Good night.
Thanks, Susan.
Good night.
I feel like I have to ask for a permission slip to Jet.
Like-
I just wanted to come back and say hi to everyone really quickly before I hop.
Well, I was hoping you would because we missed you.
I missed you too. I had to go say hi to Rick. I felt compelled to join them, and they were fun. Not as fun as this crew, though. We were a nonstop laugh riot. Now I know it's because Rachel was high, and I absolutely love that. But in all seriousness, I was expecting to be enraged throughout this entire speech, and instead, I think we did the absolute perfect thing, which is dissect it and help people understand that this man is not a man to fear, and that we are, in fact, in not having to bring out thousands of people to steal their valor. Our people are actually just doing the work, and the communities are doing the work. And I'm feeling really good about the midterms right now because everything that we saw tonight was just, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hop now, though. I'm gonna go. I took a nap, but it wasn't enough. So,
Thank you. Maya's in a different time zone.
I am in a different time zone.
You are. Thank you. We appreciate
Good
it.
night.
And also, by the way, the comments when you conducted your interview in Spanish, the best comments I've ever seen, like head exploding kind of comments.
I was like, that's so good to know. Muchísimas gracias. Next time I'm just going to throw it up there without subtitles and see if people will come on that ride with me.
They will.
Spanish language, Lincoln Square. Let's go.
Yeah. Thank you, Maya. Max, what
guys.
were your initial thoughts?
First off, thank you all for your service. I mean, sitting through that, you all should have also gotten some Trump medals just for having to deal with that. I mean, I listened to that and I thought Donald Trump said that this is the great American turnaround. I can't argue with him there. I mean, he's taken whatever progress the regular Americans have made in the last decade and certainly turned that around. I mean, this was a speech you could tell that he didn't necessarily want to give. I mean, He talked and talked in what is now the longest self-soothing therapy session ever televised. He lied where he needed to. Things that jumped out to me, he repeated his lie that inflation is plummeting when actually prices are still rising. He called the biggest decline in crime in recorded history, which is absolutely true. He just forgot to note that most of that decline was in 2023 and 2024 under Joe Biden. He talked about how mortgage rates have never been lower. I mean, these are things you can just look up. You go back to Joe Biden's presidency, they were a full 2 points lower. So this is a guy who is desperately against the wall here. He knows his presidency is in trouble at this point, had very few domestic victories to crow about. So he just went up there and said whatever he needed to run the clock out.
And out and out and out. Yeah, he ran that clock like it was a wild horse.
Yeah, so what's the story tomorrow? Joe.
You know, I think actually one big story tomorrow will be how good Abigail Spanberger was.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too.
I think actually that is because look, there's a long history of the people giving the rebuttals doing a shitty job, and she did not. She did a very good job. So I think that's going to be a really big part of the story. And then I think the other thing is, there'll be a lot of commentary. Oh, he broke a record. It was a 2-hour speech. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did this. And, I think I don't know if anyone on CNN right now is saying he became president tonight, like Van Jones famously did a couple of years ago. But any of the DC insider media that says that, they're full of shit, because this speech might have worked in that little bubble of theirs, and they may have found the thing they were looking for, but no one in America is going to see it that way. It was a long, boring speech. And I think, Joan, you nailed it. At first, it seemed like, oh, he's going to make it, like when he brought the hockey players out. But then he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And you felt like those people were props as opposed to, because he doesn't care about anybody else.
No, and so that became evident, I think.
I'm glad you said that, because that's kind of how I felt too.
Yeah. We'll keep going on that, Joan. What's the story tomorrow?
Well, I think the story tomorrow is going to depend on where you get your news. I think the story on Fox, Friends in the Morning, or whatever the heck they call themselves, is going to be, oh my God, he was wonderful. He was amazing. They're not going to fact check him. In addition to watching him, I was following along as the New York Times was like live posting it. And they would, at the bottom of every comment, this is false. This is false. This is an exaggeration. This needs context. So even the New York Times, which I think has bent over backwards to be fair to him, they called it like they saw it. I don't think that even the regular folks, not people like us who pay attention to every little thing, I don't think he sold them. I really don't.
Edwin, you were talking about Spanberger's rebuttal.
It's an impossible job. It's just an impossible job. First, no one sees it in real time. Everybody turned that off hours ago. Right. So what she did was fabulous. It's going to be great clips, and everybody who had to watch it, and that's us and people like us, are going to talk about how great it was. And so there'll be clips that are right, that hit the right tone, that help everybody else follow that tone. We're all, we've listened to all of us earlier tonight, and now it turns out Democrats are pretty united in their message, and she was pretty articulate about it. So this will help everybody sort of raise the level. She did the job exactly what she needed to do. And tomorrow, the story about Trump is going to be an angry old man. Yeah. He played the MAGA hits, and he was angry and attacking people. I mean, anybody who has a semblance of remembering what that word presidential is supposed to mean is going to be just disgusted by that performance. Yeah. I remember when Joe Biden said, "Come on, man," when he kept interrupting, and and that was bad for Trump, and it's still bad for him.
There's I think there's a sense that the rebuttal could also just be the policies, right? He's producing his own rebuttals. in the streets of Minneapolis and the streets of Chicago, Edwin and Joan, the policies that he's enacting are not only unpopular, they're dangerous and terrorizing. And Michael, we talk about this all the time, just the terror that he's unleashing on this. Do you think that this speech makes it feel at least tepid enough that Americans will overlook the masked goons kidnapping people?
No.
No.
No. I vote no.
When it was a leading question, okay, give me that.
I mean, I
set Michael up here.
Like Donald Trump is his own rebuttal speech.
Right.
Everything that he does and all of the chaos and the cruelty that he's enacted upon the American people is much far better than anything that Abigail Spanberger or anyone else for that matter could say, in retort to this rambling bullshit that he put on for the past 2+ hours. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I live in Virginia. I'm a lifelong Virginian, and I voted for Abigail Spanberger. I'm not an Abigail Spanberger fan, and I'll tell you why. The reason I'm not a fan is because I don't think that she's an accountability candidate. Whether she felt like that was something that wasn't going to get her elected, which I disagree with. I think that the vast majority of Virginians were ready to enact a change, not because they were super excited about Abigail Spanberger, just like a lot of candidates across this country, but because they're so sick and tired of Donald Trump, and they're sick and tired of Republican lawmakers lying and grifting and co-opting his cruelty message and spreading it across this country. They're tired of arguing and fighting with their neighbors over polarization, and they're tired of the normalization of political violence